Okay. Well, it's 7:30, so we should probably get things started.
Which chapter are we reading?
Garbage. It's fucking chapter 11.
Oh boy!
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy!
Oh my god!
Oh, that's so great!
Oh my god, that fucking voice.
Oh yeah, we can just do it like this. Actually, no, I'm not. It fucking hurts.
Do it, Stitch!
No.
Courier deep in thought. He is the sad onion. He doesn't know what his dick wants.
Okay, I am going to get myself into a comfortable position where my feet are leaned up, so I can ease the agony a little bit.
That's a solid 7 out of 10. I love Ref Charlie. It's a 9.5 out of 10.
Oh yeah.
It gets a 9 for how old she actually is. Dun 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 dun.
On the clock, she's on the clock.
Courier is rating porn that he has been seeing recently.
It's a 7. I don't know. Is that better than that one?
I am not going
Courier
to show
is
it
not
on
himself a very good
stream,
critic.
of course.
We should
It's
assume that he's
7 out of 10.
basically on the level of Rotten Tomatoes critics.
Oh yes, yes, of course.
Or Polygon game journalists.
I don't like that one much.
Oh,
That gets a 4 out of 10.
You can't insult Polygon game journalists like that. Come on, Cap. They at least have some standards.
No, they're Polygon. They don't deserve standards. If they suck that much ass at Doom, then they don't deserve standards.
Some
Yeah,
out
but they
of
don't
10.
play video games. That's why. Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy!
It's easy. What the fuck are you talking about?
It's an 8.5.
Yeah, Doom is easy actually.
You really want it harder.
And they even played it on easy mode too.
That's okay, but the nipple piercings freak me out a bit, so I could just...
Welcome, chat. Do you enjoy the audio?
Yeah.
I'll ask if anybody's gonna watch this.
Oh,
Not
I
that
hope
much.
not. This preamble sucks.
Yeah, you're just now figuring that out.
I mean, you're here, so.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I like how Mad Courier is trying to make him also sound like a fat critic who's just like, you can actually hear the fucking ho-hos and ding-dongs in his esophagus.
but
Yeah.
isn't he actually that as well?
I'm pretty sure that he is not as fat as you are, Kitty.
Oh, that's that.
No.
Come on.
Goblin Slayer Goblin King is the worst movie since my son.
Anyways, we should begin the reading. With how fucking garbage this is gonna be. Broken Fangs, you
Well-
know who fucking did this. This curse, this blighted curse upon humanity.
Make sure to stream this to Discord too, because
I thought that you aren't streaming.
I'm streaming it to my fucking YouTube.
You must stream it both ways. Oh no
It's
way.
It's just the fact, too, is I just don't understand why this person is basically making this shit, because
No.
They get
there's
paid.
something wrong with you. There's something
They get
wrong with
paid.
you in your
They
head.
get paid.
Cap, this is a fucking commission piece. They are being paid to write this.
I know, but, like, you gotta at some point just, like, look at yourself in the mirror and say, where the fuck have I gone wrong in my life?
Not if
A
you
lot of
think-
artists ended making
Hey,
forward, so
if
shut up,
Shadman,
Captain.
if Shadman can turn down a commission from the fucking Wonder Bread guy, this person should be at least considered, like, what the fuck is wrong in their life to make them go this way?
Or
Or
they're being married and happy.
Kitty, this is very important. Go over to chapter 57. You don't actually have to read it. Just read the author's note at the beginning, please, for the love of God. Please, you have to.
Wait, let's put it to a vote. Let's put it to a vote.
Yes.
Aye.
Yes, I.
Okay, that's 3-1. That's a fucking democracy right there. Corpor's vote doesn't count because he's an illegal immigrant.
wait, I'm the
Whoa.
dictator right now. I can just say no.
Okay, I'm
Please,
going to vote
it's
illegally
something-
multiple times
It's
for the
something.
no.
It's something. It's
Okay.
something real.
Corpor's gonna pull a Biden.
Oh my God. Please, Kitty. It's real funny. I swear to God. Please, for the love of
fucking
everything good in
fine.
the world.
I make the guy who edits this to make it look even better worry too damn much. No, you don't have a fucking editor. Stop lying.
Yes, he thinks he has an editor.
I can tell when somebody has a fucking editor read over their shit. I don't have an editor, and my shit is more polished than you. You don't have a fucking editor.
You should polish.
Look, first drafts are supposed to be rough, okay?
Okay.
You don't need an editor if you're just mildly competent.
And
Anyway.
that's why I wanted Kitty to read that author's note.
Okay, you always need a editor.
I mean, you do, but... Anyways, we should fucking read this.
I was not talking about published work, Cobra.
Anyways,
Look, you
let me
always
just
need
fucking...
someone else to read.
Shut the
it
fuck
because-
up, everybody.
Let me just get through this garbage, please!
It's gonna take 3 hours anyway, so why not delay it a bit?
I just want to get started, okay? I want my boredom to set in
Alright,
now. Anyways. Summary. Yang and Jean, Blake being Blake, and a visit to Cardin. Not for the faint of heart. Why they are friends in this is beyond me.
Is that the author making a very, like, self-reflective of why the fuck would they be friends in
Nope.
this?
No.
Oh, is that Kitty's? That Kitty's
Yep.
just him reflecting on that?
That is me.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yes.
Anyways,
There is no self-reflection to be found in the story anyway.
There's nothing to be found in the story.
as a bit of a warning, some not so very pleasant themes are happening in this chapter. We are going to Cardin's place, after all.
God,
what
I
the fuck are they
fucking-
playing?
this fucking- I swear to God, I'm gonna start pulling Courier right now. I want everybody in this fucking story to die.
Oh, absolutely every single one of them.
Anyways.
Except, no, they ruined Callie too. I want her to.
Mhm.
Look, you can make them all rape slaves and keep them alive, okay?
I'll do that for Callie then, and Blake, and
Anyways.
maybe someone else.
The water was warmer than the other shower that she'd been using since she had come to live her. She noticed immediately as she sank down into the bathtub a soft murmur in her throat as she felt the heat wash over her skin, her master looking at her with a warmth in his eyes, his hand brushing over her cheek. Run-on sentences.
Kitty's already dying.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's a run-on sentence. I was reading it exactly correctly.
Jesus.
It was
Oh
a
my God,
touch
yeah.
it was a touch of a lover, or so she would like to think. The touch of a lover, and that,
It was
ladies and
a
gentlemen,
touch of the lower.
is why I don't believe that this person has an editor. If they had an editor, such things would be pointed out very quickly.
Dude,
Yeah,
can you
this sounds
imagine someone
terrible.
going through this all 57 chapters, almost 1,000,000 words, and trying to edit this shit? I would kill myself.
There
Also,
was
is
no editing.
Also, isn't it basically the entire point that we've noticed like shit tons of fucking like sentences that had no structure to them, to where you couldn't say them properly, no matter how you fucking said it?
Words missing, the wrong. Oh my fucking god! I'm gonna murder these ants. Hold on. Fucking
Again.
Christ on a cross.
Anyways,
Do what I told you.
just gas them, okay?
Just for reference of what happened to Courier, is he is currently living his own Starship Troopers movie because ants have invaded his apartment.
And
He's
it's not
tried
following
everything
my
to get rid
advice.
of them.
The ants were defending their own planets. Okay?
Anyways, the Sentinel stood there at the far side of the bathroom, merely watched with blue eyes unblinking. A smile was on his sister's lips, but the eyes told a greater story than he'd ever tell, as he looked at her, already getting himself out of his clothing. She liked being able to bathe. "Do you need help, master?" It wasn't bad to inquire. The spectre at the end of the room would not be against her inquiring as those eyes watched. Her master smiled, her heart quivering a little more. It wasn't a stomach ache. She might be feeling the feeling of, like, she liked him.
She might be feeling the feeling.
Ah,
Of like.
it's okay. I'm nearly done.
Also, it's just so fucking creepy that the fact that his sister's just sitting there watching him bathe.
What,
Like,
your
look-
sister doesn't
look.
sit right outside the bath going, "Ah, yes, keep scrubbing right under those armpits, my dear."
No, and it's implied that she's in the same room, so she's basically oogling his
It's
balls
not
and
implied,
shit.
it's stated.
Yeah.
And Lau, before you open your fucking mouth, Lau, I pay $40 a goddamn month in fucking rent for fucking pest control for my goddamn apartment, so I expect them to do their goddamn job. Okay, I'm done.
You didn't tell me that earlier, and I will just continue to say, why are you paying for pest control? Do it yourself.
Why am I paying $40 a month for pest control when they don't fucking goddamn do the pest control?
Yes.
Fuck, I don't know why. I don't know why.
They don't get paid if there is no pest to take care of.
Well, there's fucking pests in this case. Jesus Christ.
That's the point. They're leaving them there. Anyway.
Ass.
It's okay. I'm nearly done. He slid the underwear down and unveiled his manhood to her. She smiled at the sight, leaning forwards and then brushing a hand over his sides. Then we should get you some shampoo. It'll make you look even prettier. She smiled at him, and No, I have to read that correctly. She smiled at him, period. He smiled back at her, period. Her heart was trying to escape the prison that was her chest. That isn't necessary, master. Wait, that was him. We should get you some shampoo. It'll make you look even prettier.
God, the fucking finger guns just make that scene.
That isn't necessary, master. I'm just a slave. You don't have to. His hand touched her lips, silencing her. She obeyed without question, her eyes looking at him as he stepped into the bathtub. You're a good slave. She couldn't resist smiling broadly at that phrase. She was lucky to have him. So, he sank into the water, grabbing a sponge. I'll have to use some of Seth's stuff, since you've got a nice mane of hair. She's the heiress, technically. Yang felt a stab of something like regret inside her as her master dunked the sponge into the water. Turn around, show me your back. The order, or perhaps the request, was obeyed. With a sensual grace, she pulled herself up, showing her sex to the master for a moment before she shifted, pushing herself back. What?
I would just like to point out too of how that's described. It would be really fucking hard to pull off in a bathtub without slipping and cracking your fucking head open on the side of it.
Is this even a bathtub or some kind of Japanese?
Probably closer to an onsen.
But why? They're not Japanese though. It's modeled after European medieval times.
Fucking no. The sponge brushed over her skin as he handled her hair, pushing it out of the way. My older sister Camellia used to take baths with me all the time. She's an inquisitor with the Faunus Management Committee. Yeah, she's really nice. She's the one who makes sure that no faunus will hurt us. As the sponge soaked the skin of her back, she thought back to the woman who had so boldly claimed that she would break the tiger and bring her as a pet before the man who was her owner. A stab of jealousy went through her, though she could feel nothing. Then how are you feeling jealousy?
She felt nothing, but she felt jealousy.
She had no property. She was property. Finally, a woman who gets it. And she had no rights save those that her master Jean allowed her. If he wished to let her be the nursemaid to the cat's child, she would have to accept it. I hope that she will approve of me, Master Jean. She hoped more, actually, but she could never voice it. Motherwell, she's much like Camellia in her nature. Yang turned around, her antlers tapping against his nose. Oops, you hit me with your antlers.
And then his fucking sister just goes homicidal. How dare you boop my brother on the nose? Completely by accident.
Is it defect, little brother? Can I play with her? Auburn Ark's voice was light, yet it sent a shiver through Yang's body as the sponge brushed over her back. She looks like she'll make great puppies. I don't know why the rest of them don't like to move after it. They're all broken. The smile on her master's face was pained. She could see as much as he sighed. No, Abby, she's not a defect. She accidentally tapped against me. Accidents happen, just like when you wet yourself when you were 17.
Interesting comment.
Okay, that's where we're going with this, apparently.
Well, for now.
Auburn Ark hummed lightly, a smile on her lips. It was much less severe than before, the eyes looking just a touch clearer. Indeed. Mom said that it was my own fault, but I bet that guy can do better. The pills. Oh, can I take them here? Big sis said that I should always take them. Her master's face was a little tense as he sighed. You know that you're supposed to take them with your big sister around, Abby. It'll be okay. We can stay here for a moment, waiting for you. The woman smiled, her eyes not fully there, as she hummed a tune that Yang recognized as a nursery rhyme as she moved from the room. Her eyes caught sight of the sadness in her master's eyes. Nah, you're gonna look at it with your fucking mouth. He sounded... Wait. Her eyes caught sight of the sadness in her master's eyes, leaning up to kiss him. It was improper for a slave to suddenly kiss her master, but she didn't care. He was sad. Don't be sad, Mr. Jean. It's not that. You probably don't understand, Yang. He sounded so sad. She hugged him, just because she didn't want him to be sad. I love her, but she's not right. People are whispering about her, but she's still my sister. Yang could understand that. If she had a sister, she would fight to the death with anyone who would harm her sister. Family was important. Master, He shook his head, his eyes firmer. She liked that look in his eyes. It wasn't weakness, but strength. We're going to the Winchester family's house after we're done here, Yang. His hand grabbed the sponge, and he started to work on her front. Ooh, kinky. The shampoo was nice and Why are you using shampoo on your tits?
It's supposed to be soap, but they don't understand
It's
that. So.
all-purpose body wash. Who cares?
I mean, he's a man, so it should be the case for him.
I also like, too, that in this story, Jean at least has the fucking know-with-all to know that Auburn is basically really fucking insane, and he doesn't feel safe being around her most of the time. I thought that was actually kind of interesting that he has the fucking self-awareness to know that,
No,
yeah,
he
I'm probably not safe with her.
Again, he doesn't.
Anyways. His hand grabbed the sponge and he started to work on her front. The shampoo was nice and floral, smelling of oranges and citrus fruit. What do you think an orange is?
It's a citrus
orange,
fruit.
orange, lemon, orange, grapefruits, lemons, and limes all smell different, but they're all citrus.
It's a pomegranate.
I live in Florida. I know what a citrus is.
It's important that you act like a good funness. She straightened her shoulders. She would. A serious look came on her face, but as he smiled at her for her posture, she smiled too, affected by the warmth in that smile.
God, the fucking over-description of shit, too, is fucking annoying as shit.
When most
Smiles,
of the words
warm,
are
warm smiles,
fucking...
warm everything, oh, so warm. I mean, God, fucking damn it.
When the words are repeated more than... Not even more than once. If the words are used more than once in a sentence, find a different fucking word for it. Different adjective, different word, different verb, anything. Fucking anything!
She smiled too, affected by the warmth in his grin.
Like, there's so many ways to do it that aren't just repeating the same damn word 3 fucking times in a sentence. Anyways. Warmth in that smile. There are expectations. I didn't get to teach you this, but... Well, they'll be just be 3 paces behind me and stay leashed. Yeah, there's my pets, and whilst I may not fully agree with some of the practices of the Winchester family, they are still valuable acquaintances. No matter what happens, just smile. Act like an animal. So piss yourself.
Fucking strangling himself right now. Anyway, here's what I wanted to post in regards to this fucking offer. I'd actually go... At one point I was tempted to just go in to the Discord and just post this and leave.
Let's fucking see.
Lau,
Just
if I
post
had...
that and be like, constructive criticism, you whore.
Yeah, Lau, if me, Cap, and Kitty have to suffer through this, so do you. Okay?
I know, but the problem is... Discord's strangling itself and I can't help it when you guys jump up to 5,000 ping. And the best way... And I can't wait it out because I've been sitting out for the past minute hoping it get better. I can see my ping is increasing and getting worse. So excuse me if I keep jumping in and out, but that's so I can actually hear you.
That's fine. I don't judge.
Anyway. You shouldn't, because that's retarded. Anyway,
What the fuck did you post, Cap? Chakra healing and balance starts with the root. You can change your vibration with these healing No!
what? Where?
No!
Huh?
Quartz butt plugs, no!
Oh, that one.
Do not put
Kitty
rocks
has-
inside your fucking body. Especially if you're a female. Because your special place has certain acids that like to dissolve minerals.
Do you really?
Yeah,
It feels frightening that you need to explain to people why they shouldn't shove rocks inside their asses.
You mean vaginas?
Look,
That
they're
too.
going to change the vibrations and the electrical properties.
But
Look.
Kitty, at least you can actually profit off this. That's why you can make money off this.
Oh no.
Sell it as some kind of like special thing to improve sex. Just shove that in there for like 5 minutes to pull it out. Improve sex experience.
Why, with
Guys.
grains of fucking sand?
No,
Yes.
with the stone butt plug. People are gonna buy it up. It's great.
Why? How would that...
Because you can make money off of it. It doesn't matter if it works or not.
Wow, we gotta get back to the fanfic.
Please, for the love of God, stop. No. No, I don't want to
What?
think about this.
Wow, stop
Why?
it, wow.
Why are
Just-
you a true capitalist?
For the love
Curry.
of God, I have standards.
Courier.
Mhm.
I gotta ask, man, because I can't remember myself. When's the part where he fucks his sisters?
Let me...
Chapter 13.
No, it's not chapter 13.
Oh.
What chapter
Chapter
is it?
F.
Do you remember?
Chapter every chapter.
Chapter
somewhere
not soon enough.
somewhere in the 20s. 27? 29? One of those two.
Alright, so that one's gonna be a real humdinger.
Kitty, why do you have a desire to watch him fuck his sisters?
Because that'll at least be entertaining in a morbid way.
I mean, we get to see his sister get fucked by somebody else next chapter or the chapter after that, I think. So,
When does the horse show up?
when does the what? The
When
horse?
does the horse show up?
Oh, that's a good question too. Somewhere in the
Yeah.
30s, I think. 34?
Kitty's
That'd be
just like
I can't
Kitty's just like that one song where he digs his fingers into his eyes to not feel the pain anymore. Oh yeah, that's what was it? Fuck.
Hurt by Johnny Cash.
No, the guys who wear the masks. Slipknot. Fingers into my eyes. So I can't feel the pain anymore.
Mm. Carrying on. Kitty, I will start to read this if you don't.
Yeah.
Horse
so-
pussy.
I will
We were
not
at-
shame you, master. She was going to be the best behaved furnace around. He smiled, giving her a kiss on the lips. She noticed that he was hard already, her gaze looking down at him, the sponge traced over her full breasts. If that cat acts out. His eyes looked into hers, anger flashing in them, a look of strength, decor, a manner that befits a man. He was kind, yet there was anger within him. I should
Yes, we
fucking
know
hope so. If he's looking angry, whoa! She'll be treated as a faunus should. She will learn. She will see what happens to a faunus when the kind hand of humanity isn't extended, as Cammy says. His words were final and strong, as there was a hardness in his eyes and in his dick. She felt her heart skip a beat. That's just because you're feeling his dick. That meant that she was special, right? He wouldn't say it like that if he didn't mean that she was special. Well, am I not a faunus too? What treatment do I get, master? Her voice was easily roused to a sultry purr, pressing herself against him. His eyes met hers, and there was warmth in them. She had a brief flash of herself, giving her whole body to him once the tests came back. I want you.
I like how they're still complaining about that or talking about that, but hasn't it been like enough time has passed already? Because usually that does take like a fucking week or so, like they even said.
Cap, if there's one thing that this story doesn't even attempt to bother to try to set up, other than everything, is a fucking sense of time. We don't fucking understand how much time goes by through fucking anything. Has it been a week since the fanfic started? Has it been a day? Has it been 12 hours? We don't fucking know.
I mean, you could go out from I fell asleep or the next day.
I know, but that shit is so fucking inconsistent. Holy balls.
Why is Yang sounding like Ilsa, the she-wolf of the SS?
You know, fake terrible German accent.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
I want to do is a yeah, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I just know for a fact, if this shit keeps continuing, I'm going to have to get BJ Blazkowicz in here.
Oh.
Please do.
What?
Blazkowicz.
I don't know how to fucking pronounce his last name.
Blaskovich.
No, you're Irish, not Polish. So.
Pretty sure it's
Yeah.
Blaskovich, right? You pronounce
Besides,
it with a V.
I would be ashamed to be Polish because I don't want to get invaded by everybody.
Wow, okay.
No, you only get invaded by the British, the worst people.
Not only the worst people, but also your people.
Oh!
Fuck you.
You're just British in denial.
Hell no. I am not British in denial. I will have you know that I do not drink tea. Now, excuse me while I drink my tea.
You're just British
You
in
have a
denial.
license for that tea.
You got a license for freedom. You got a freedom license.
You want your COVID license to get freedom?
Do you have your freedom license?
Well,
Hello, mate. You got your freedom license? Ah, got jolly good day to you, sir. Then.
Didn't want to call the COVID passes freedom passes.
Which made everybody immediately point and laugh and say, "Ha, freedom license." Anyways, it was a craving, a need, a desire. She felt like a woman. Are you going to let me be ravished by us as master? A tease with a hint of fear. She wanted it to be his, though if he insisted. No. The word was simple, yet there was an emotion in it. An emotion, eh?
Now,
You know, just one of them.
You're mine. You'll always be mine. A warm feeling surged through her. And if... Wait. And if your father wishes to take liberty with me? She had to ask the question, had to see his reaction. There was a look in his eyes that was unpleasant, that was angry. He won't. You're mine. He can have Blake if he wants. I am done with her behavior.
don't worry, honey. Just wait like 30-ish chapters and you'll be fucking wanting to fuck his dad constantly, and it's Fuck me sideways. I hate this shit.
Her eyes were a bit watery as she breathed in deeply. He liked her more than the cat. She doesn't learn. She doesn't want. She would accept me, but... He looked away. She doesn't know. Carden will show her what happens to Afanis, who aren't as lucky. As much as I dislike his stance on certain things. Yang knew what happened to Faunus who weren't lucky with a wonderful master such as hers. Rape! Treatments that were no less than livestock. In this world, you conformed or you were eaten. Sometimes literally.
I wouldn't be surprised if they correct this cannibalism.
If she is out of line, master. Her voice trembled slightly as she looked at him. I'll give her another chance. But next time, I'm done with her. She's dark and beautiful, but you're like a warm sun. She pressed to him, kissing his jaw, her breathing heavier. He was saying the right words to get her going, to make her want to please him. And that's what I like in you. You're not unwilling. I've had many partners, because I was a whore, and He silenced her with a finger to her lips, his eyes looking into hers, a smile on his lips. Nah, it's gonna be on his fucking left earlobe. It was a nice smile. It was a nice smile that made her feel hot, the collar around her neck feeling tighter. And you're my pet now, aren't you? I should be using you as a pet. She wouldn't mind. It was better than starving on the streets, and she got actual clothing to wear. Here. But, no. You're better than Blake. You don't call me a rapist.
Oh yeah, they live near a binary star. One sun's hot, the other's cold.
That's how you get fusion, right? Cold fusion, cold stars.
Her face showed her displeasure for the term. Blake Belladonna did not know what rape was. Rape was unfortunate!
A loss of profit.
I'm
and
sorry,
a bad time.
what did that just say? Where are you at?
Okay. Rape was unfortunate, a loss of profit, and a bad time. Look, the woman is a libertarian.
Oh my god!
A member of Afghanistan by heart.
Cap is
she's
also,
a
ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my god!
I'm screen grabbing that. Look, it's kind of fadey, but look at that shit.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Rape was unfortunate, a loss of profit, and a bad time.
Oh my god! Oh Jesus! Look! 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 I don't care how fucked their life is!
I just had to mute myself just for the fact that she was calling everybody rapists and shit, but she didn't even know what it was. I had to mute myself to just laugh my ass off.
That is way too soft of a descriptor for rape. Unfortunate loss of profit and bad time.
Again, this is Yang.
Sorry, I'm back. I was in the bathroom taking a massive dump, but I'm all better now. It was far more entertaining than this.
Okay. Quote, rape was unfortunate, a loss of profit, and a bad time. I've been laughing for 2 minutes straight over that.
You're welcome,
you forgot the part that just behind it?
Oh yeah, her face showed her displeasure for the term. Blake Belladonna did not know what rape was. Rape was unfortunate, a loss of profit, and a bad time.
Also, this is narrator. We in no way we get told that this is what Yang tells. So
You will never be a rapist to me, master. Even if you want to fuck me without warning, or if you punch me and pull on my hair. She'd take it. She was a tough girl, and she'd been through it all before. A bit of a warning.
Whole of hair is not rape.
At once, it is way too soft on what rape is, and not at all correct on what rape is.
look, rape is just sex at an inconvenient time, according to these characters. I believe.
You see, rape is just unwanted sex. Boo-hoo, you had sex when it was inconvenient.
Exactly.
Something. I remember somebody in this fucking server has said that, almost that specific fucking sentence.
Captain.
Yep.
I was captain.
That it
anyhow.
was. Anyways, let's fucking continue. A bit of warning beforehand would be nice, Zor. I'll be able to act like the scared little damsel getting her rapist's cock shoved down her throat. He smiled as his hand brushed through her hair. And if you really want to be kinky, have little Miss Kitty watch. The uppity cat would quiver like some indignant bitch that would at the sight of her co-pet being raped, but Yang would get some sick and perverse. God, she's like, sick and perverse pleasure out of it if the girl actually started to need punishment. She's willful, he said, his eyes looking far off. There was something in those eyes that made her want to claw the kitty's eyes out for making him look at her. It said eyes 3 fucking times!
Say this like it's surprise.
She should be the one to have those wistful eyes, as she noticed that he was zoning out again. She doesn't know her proper place. Wait. She doesn't know her proper place. I was so close to granting her the freedom that she wanted. The death warrant of her. Likely the death warrant for the Faunus. If she'd caught the hints right. She didn't know how much power there was within the leather boots-wearing ox name. But if there was a form for a purge. I'm not going to hurt you, master. When I'm cleared of the sickness, I will show you the joy of sex. She was going to give him a performance that would make him feel a burn in his loins from It's called harpies! Or herpes. Fuck!
No, she wants to get rid of herpes so he can give her another kind of burning in her loins.
A.k.a. gonorrhea.
Well, you said it, not me.
You okay, kitty?
Anyhow.
9!
Anyhow. Let's continue.
There's some phlegm in my throat.
See, what I have to question is why would Blake consider it a loss of profit? Are they getting paid?
No,
to
this
rape
is
or
Yang.
Yang.
This is Yang.
Oh.
Get the
Well,
difference.
we're never
moly.
told that that's what she thinks. I assume we had to assume it.
We have to infer that's Yang's perspective on it, because it's not actually stated to be her thoughts. But whatever.
A loss of profit and a very bad inconvenience.
It was very inconvenient. Anyways, he smiled at her, leaning back. She got up, the water droplets cascading down her form. Her eyes looked down at him, his arms resting on the rim of the bathtub. Oh, so it is a bathtub. She smiled at him, her hands brushing over her stomach. Master, Her hands slid onto his shoulders as her breasts pressed against her. I'm a very dirty funness. The urge
Wouldn't be a best scheme.
I don't know.
You know
Apparently her breasts are
Don't
just
worry,
magically pressing against herself.
what? Yeah, that's called weight.
I'm a very dirty funness. The urge to mount him, to make him feel that pleasure that she had promised, was strong. She knew that with his words he could consign them all to death, but she felt happy and safe with him. And I am to be here watched by the man who owns the right of my collar. There was no denying the feelings that came from her heart, her eyes looking into his own. Finally, you learned how to refer to an object without stating the object.
No, he didn't. Just keep going.
Stop breaking my heart, Corper, please.
Look, repetition is not learned, okay?
So, big boy. Wait. So, big boy. You laying hands on me? She teased, sliding her breasts over his face, letting him feel their weight. Or do you want me to gasp and squeal, master? His smile made her heart skip a beat. How can she see his smile when her tits are on his face?
Well, you see,
He's
she has a
sliding.
powerful X-ray.
She could feel the smile through her boobs.
As his hands gripped her breasts and squeezed. Pleasure shot through her as her eyes closed. Make a good little bitch. Wait. Make a good little bitch squeal and she'll be like putty in your hands, mister. I liked you waking me up yesterday. She smiled even broader at the words as his hands massaged her full boobies. It was great to feel you. I like you, I like you, I like you. His happiness made her feel happier. I'll wake you up every morning if you want me to. This fun slave is here for her master. Her eyes opened, looking at him. He smiled with a fondness as he pulled her into an embrace. She lowered herself lightly, her butt brushing against his erection. What?
Butt job?
I just can't even. She wanted to feel him inside her, to know what it felt to have him pump her full of his spunk. She wanted to be the good pet, not the one who acted out. No matter how I act outside, Yang, know that you're still my little Yang. My little Yang who makes me happy to have picked her off the streets. She wanted him so badly, but she didn't want him to catch anything from her. She had to wait until she was clean, but she wanted him to feel her. Her breathing was deep, leaning against him. I'm so happy that you like me. He smiled, patting her head. The gesture had been comforting enough to bring a brush of joy through her heart. She was so happy that he liked her, because it meant that he might see her as... who wouldn't like a cute doe like you? The soft voice lingered in her ears whilst the door opened and Ash entered, her impeccable white maid outfit looking very clean. I have fetched your ill-tempered pet, Master Jean. She waits within the bedroom, already leashed. The words from the woman were calm as her master shifted a little. She felt his manhood brush between her buttocks. A sweet smile on her lips. Who felt it? Who? You have to fucking say who, you stupid whore.
It's a sad day when doing Nazi accents. Kitty can't even get his mood up.
Thank you, Ash. The crocodile fauness's eyes softened a little as she reached for the sponge that had been in the water. Still can't clean your head properly, you silly boy. Zeze, dunk. What the fuck are you laughing at now? Oh my no.
Who studies?
I don't understand, but okay. Hey you are a dick, so I'm going to bomb the wasteland. But why? Because fuck you, that's why. Why is Courier spamming New Vegas memes?
Because he's trying to take his mind off of this trash.
No, I was thinking about the custodian one.
Motherfucker, it's your fucking fault that you're here.
I know.
Well, I'm more annoyed about the fucking narration lately, but that's just me.
I also like how that one line where he didn't know what the fuck was going on legitimately broke Kitty for a few seconds there.
Oh, you want that we don't know who the fuck he's brushing against?
There's
brushing
just
against-
so much shit that doesn't make any sense with this.
Alright, to just put out one single example of why I'm thinking this shit is just fucking insane and horrendous in so many fucking ways. Imagine, if you will, an inquisitor goes out looking for heretics, and suddenly he finds himself a court after burning 300 villages down with a massive body count, and he suddenly goes, how can I be tried for something I don't even know what is? That's the level of bullshittery we're working with. She's calling everybody a rapist, but don't think it's bad. It's a bad experience. Okay, so you just don't know what a rapist is.
Yeah,
No,
getting
but-
stabbed is basically just having a new orifice surgically inserted into you.
I'm
At the
just
bad
gonna
time.
vanish for a minute or two here. Give me 5. I need to think.
Okay.
Ladies and drink, ladies and gentlemen. Kitty. Ladies and gentlemen.
Alright, our first
Okay.
mid-ad break.
Our
I
first
would like-
mid-ad break, fucking 45 minutes in.
I would like to say that this stream is sponsored by Jack Daniels because it numbs the pain.
Ladies and gentlemen, when you want some whiskey, don't drink Jim Beam. Get some Jack Daniels.
Okay.
Because it makes us
I just
strong. It makes us strong enough to get through this without blowing our brains out.
Okay, I
Yeah.
just
So
want
it
to
must
say,
be
to be
good.
fair, this is a soft fantasy, so it is expected. But
Yeah.
this author is so fucking horrible at it that it breaks immersion about every character that uses it. So,
Also, our co-sponsor today is Fallout New Vegas Memes. Fallout New Vegas Memes for when you really want to kill yourself, but you don't really want to get there quite yet.
Remember, in Fallout New Vegas, patrolling the Mojave makes you wish for a nuclear winter.
Indeed.
a nuclear
Indeed.
winter put them there, so...
Indeed.
And we
Easy
know in the
people,
Mojave, asking for a nuclear winter will probably get it there a lot faster than a Song of Ice and Fire. Oh!
Speaking of alcohol, if you're a newbie to it and haven't drunk that much throughout your 8 days, don't dump just an entire bottle of sake down your system. That's a terrible idea, and you might kill yourself. Isn't that
And
right,
don't-
Courier?
Yeah, don't act like Courier when he first gets the first taste of alcohol when he's finally old enough to drink it, and immediately just starts downing enough of it that he just loses all comprehension of what's going on, and the next
Like-
day forgets everything.
Ladies and
Blackout.
gentlemen, I didn't forget everything. Ladies and gentlemen, let me
Yes,
tell
you had a
little-
blackout drunk moment.
No, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you a little tale, right? Okay, let me set the stage for you. So here I am, drinking some whiskey, lying on the floor. I'm looking up at the ceiling, thinking, you know what? That's a nice ceiling. The next thing you know, several hours have passed. You're still lying on that floor. Only now there's light shining through the window directly into your retinas, like out of Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, just into your eyeballs. And you really feel like you need to vomit, so you crawl over to the toilet, and then you just spend the next several hours there, curled up by the toilet. And the moral of the story is, if you're gonna get blackout drunk, don't do it on Jim Beam whiskey.
That's the takeaway from it, not the fact that you don't know how to drink alcohol because you're an idiot.
No, just don't drink Jim Beam whiskey. Get yourself some better quality whiskey if you're gonna get blackout drunk.
Or, just don't drink yourself till you pass out. That's a good solution.
But Kitty, would you sponsor Jack Daniel's whiskey to numb the pain?
No. Jack Daniels tastes like garbage. Way too peaty.
Well, fuck you then. Fuck you then.
We are not
Fuck you for having
We're not sponsored by Jack Daniels.
Spencer! Spencer!
I should hope.
Oh, we're never going to sponsor by Jack Daniels now.
Look, if
Thank you.
If they could get me a bottle of whiskey that didn't taste like it was run across charcoal, then I would enjoy it. Okay?
Damn.
Oh damn. Anyhow, I think we are in. Thank you.
If 40 Creek, Crown Royal, JP Weiser, any of those came to me, actually JP Weiser would be all for it because my family loves that. So I'd buy a lot of it. I'd happily get multiple bottles of it just to be like, your dad, have some whiskey on the house. But, if they want to sponsor me, they want to give me some money to numb the pain, I will take that, but not Jack Daniels. I have standards.
Reminder, according to the big agents, Bud Light is the real alcohol for men.
Also, to quote the immortal words of Rick Sanchez, I'm gonna go take a shit, so I'll be right back.
Go fuck yourself.
Are we breaking out the alcohol? Okay, hold on. Let me get this bottle open.
I'm still drinking fucking normal ass Pepsi right now.
I
need
am
some damn
enjoying
liquor in my system.
There we go.
I'm
Got the bottle.
enjoying a nice bottle of Freeway Cola, which is off-brand Coca-Cola, and I'm completely fine with it because it's cheap.
Just opened a nice bottle of Angry Orchard hard cider. Some good shit, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, let me read the comments right now.
Mm.
I think they're gonna be a little more interesting.
Delicious.
You're gonna read it now, Corper? Are we even gonna be able to understand?
No, we're not going to be able to understand a word. Corporate,
And
you're
that's
great,
why it's
but...
gonna make it much better.
Hey.
or you could let me read it.
Yes. Somebody else take the fucking reins. I need a break.
Okay, where are we? I forgot.
Okay.
Right after Dunk.
Dunk.
She did. It was a simple gesture, her eyes closing as she felt the hot water wash over her face. It
Or
was
above.
a command.
The dunk
by
that's
some-
above.
What?
Still can't clean your head properly.
There, Dunk.
There, Dunk.
Oh,
Still
fuck.
can't clean your head properly, you silly boy.
Shit, okay.
Good
She was
job.
pushed away by a bony hand, watching as the crocodile
Faunus dug
her master's head below the surface, grabbing the sponge and starting to wipe at the face of her master. A stab of anger slid through her before she noticed the woman was professional in her handling of her honor.
Now, wash behind those ears. You know that your mother does not want you to shame her by looking like a ruffian, even though your older sister has beat you with that. Now, good man. The woman turned her attention to her, and Yang froze. She saw those eyes meet her as the woman smiled. Dunk. She did. It was a simple gesture, her eyes closing as she felt the hot water wash over her face. It was a command by someone who was aware of her status. Good girl. Pat to the head that felt right, as the woman's hands grabbed her mane of hair and then tugged on it a little. Some split hands, but we can work with this.
I'll wash.
She heard her master say. But the woman clicked her tongue. You'll sit and let me deal with her first, Master John. Sit. Go and scrub behind your ears, just like I taught you. I will not let the dirty boy out of this bathroom.
Ooh.
There was a sternness in the woman's voice that demanded obedience, and he did it. As her hair was shampooed up, the woman gave a frowning face as her eyes looked at her. Then her
God
eyes
damn
looked
it,
some
Courier.
more.
You sound like a fucking villain from Resident Evil. Stop that.
I was gonna say,
Also-
you're right.
Also, you guys ever take a shit so big that you feel lighter on your feet afterwards? God damn, man.
Absolutely.
I feel fleet right now.
I was gonna say Courier sounds a lot like Tiny Teen and makes me want to punch him in the face and send him off on a rocket space.
Why? Because
Tiny Tina.
I keep switching my accent and tone every 2 seconds. Yeah.
Yes, and it's frustrating me.
Fuck, God damn it. Fine. I'll read it. I'll read it in my normal
Yeah,
fucking voice. I hope you all are happy.
That's fine, but just stick to a goddamn accent unless it's based on character.
Fine, I'll try to do what AC did. We'll need to buy some decent conditioner for you as well. There is a dubious tone to the woman's face. I have done the mistress's makeup. There's no S. There's no S there. There's no S for mistresses. So I have done the mistress makeup. Beautiful. Okay.
It's almost like this is a pain to read. Like Kitty's the one that's struggling to read it, not because he's a bad reader, which he is, but the fact that it's just terribly written, which it is.
Okay. So that is the correct conjugation. That's the correct use of an apostrophe after.
Is it? I was taught the Oxford one. If it is a proper noun, you need an S at the end.
Yep.
Mistresses.
I have done the mistress. I like that.
I have done the mistress.
we're gonna go with the canon. That's canon now.
Okay.
Sorry, Corper. What are you saying? I'll shut up.
Nothing.
You sure? Okay.
He's lying.
Gotcha.
I'm always lying.
Fair enough. Anyway, makeup often enough to tell the hair type. Yang's eyes closed as some of the shampoo pricked at her eyes. She was dunked under the water again, feeling the warmth, the grip on her head there as the woman raised her up. She's like you, Ash, her master commented. The woman smiled warmer than anything she'd seen before. It was clearly the smile of someone who cared for the young man who owned the collar around her neck. I like her. That's good, my little yellow death. The origin of the nickname was a mystery, but she knew that if one of the mistresses heard it, Faunus would be punished. Etiquette was strict on that, Mistress Juniper had told her. Masters were to be referred to with their full title, or at least their name with master in front of it. Now, show me your ears. Passable. I remember when your sister Juniper was still young. The girl just wouldn't sit still. A fond smile on the young man's face as he looked at Yang. She's been my nursemaid, as well to most of my sisters. It was a lightening of the mood from the heaviness that had come with the suggestion for freedom of the fathers. I've been trying to get her to wear something nicer than that outfit, but she insists. A maid's task is never done unless her attire is spotless, Master John. The words were formal, as the woman fixed her with a look. Stand. Good, pet. The word was an order, and she stood. Good. Nice, firm breasts. Your mother must have had quite a pair. She knew nothing of her mother, save that her mother had been one of the hottest and scariest women around. Turn. There, a bony finger prickled below her shoulder blades, and a gush of heat pushed its way through her. Kitty, I need you to scroll down so I can continue to read this garbage. Thank you very much, sir. Okay.
Howdy, y'all.
Good. I approve. I made sure that the muzzle's prepared, Master John. He got up as well, Yang noticing that the woman was looking at her master, her gaze looking with a faint look of judging. And it is good that you are here to prepare to seize this Faunus, though I will admit that I do hope that it's not meant for me. I am a touch too old for you, I would hope. An embarrassed chuckle from her master made her notice that he was still odd. The older Faunus woman's comment having made him smile. She liked when he smiled. I'm more than willing to take the edge off. Her voice was daring as her hand grabbed his cock, giving it a slow jerk. The feeling of the damp skin making her feel more daring.
Love that yak.
Oh yeah. An audience was nice, especially when she was with the man that she liked. Make the master feel really good. How about that? Does master want his little doe to suck his cock? Fingernails traced under the chef's head, doing a circle. Shudder coming from him. He looked a little uncomfortable, glancing at Ash a few times as her fingernails teased the flesh. Not with Ash here, Yang. He denied her, but her hand continued. She's like... He looked away, fondest woman smiling softly. Allow me to dress her, Master Jean. She must look the part, whilst the bad cat has already been dressed up. The words were soft, but they held a touch of strength. Yang wondered briefly whether it was her natural tone of voice, but the young man obeyed it without question. I'll see you soon, my little Yang. He kissed her on the lips. Felt bad when they broke the kiss, a heaviness settling in her heart. He toweled off, the crocodile faunus assisting him with getting a fresh set of underwear that she thought that she'd bought with her for him, sending him off to his bedroom, and then turning to her. You scroll down again, sir. Thank you very much. There was no warning, as a set of red eyes met hers, the weight of something heavy settling onto her shoulders and pinning her down. As the woman's eyes looked into hers, she felt the shiver continue. As she took a step back, leaning against the wall, there was a threat in those eyes, something that seemed to not be physical, but something worse. He likes you a whole lot. Break his faith, and I will make you into an example. The threat was in those words. As the albino
faith.
The threat was in those words, as the albino crocodile faunus. There was deep-seated fear that took root in her heart. The motherly woman who seemed to have been like a grandmother to him, having shed the mask and look at her if she was some bug to be squashed. It was an uncomfortable feeling that she felt. Really, you felt an uncomfortable feeling. That's cool, thank you. A very uncomfortable and unsettling feeling. Okay there, thank you very much, Yang. Please go kill yourself now. Okay. It won't be simple. He likes you. He trusts you. He could have let Auburn take her medication here, but he sent her to Argent. Destroy that Karen's side, you silly doe, and I will personally make sure that they will not find your corpse. There was something in those eyes that told her that the woman would do as she said. The cat I can excuse. She was under the influence of the ox and the tiger. But you, the woman approached so easily, with not a single hint of her having ever moved when she flickered into existence. Fuck this goddamn grammar. Speed granted through battle and experience. There was a fearful pulse, god damn it, fucking motherfucker, that slid through her as the woman's fingers tapped against her jugular. The movement had been faster than her father as the fingernail dug into the skin. Blood welled up where the fingernail pressed into the flesh. Hurt him, and I will make sure that you will suffer. The master has given me an order to preserve his family, and I will execute all who dare harm him, all who dare harm what is under my protection. Those red eyes looked at her with something that bordered insanity, something cruel and vicious. A warrior who had been trained to kill, keep on killing. She was aware that her breath had stalled in her throat, aware that there had been some sort of momentum to the woman's finger. But she was most aware of the fact that her own mind was already thinking of a counter to the woman's insinuation that she would ever hurt the man. I will make sure that he's safe, old woman. He's given me a life. I've got clean clothing, I've got underwear, and I'm saddled with a brat who doesn't know what a purge is, who keeps on calling my man a bastard and a rapist. She froze. She hadn't meant to say that. It had slipped out. It slipped out. She couldn't take back the words because the woman had heard them. If anyone heard her lay claim to a human, it would be a lashing at the very least. But in this case, it would mean death. Faunus had no property.
You get on Ark's case for making weird-ass accents and shit, but you're fucking trying to sound Southern is so fucking forced it hurts.
I know.
Because we know that you're not Southern because you basically sound like a jackass New Yorker.
Hey, motherfucker.
He is a jackass New Yorker.
Motherfucker, I live in Florida, goddammit. You want me to take you a fucking picture there, motherfucker?
Dude, I've been to Florida. I was there for like maybe 2 years of my life when I was a kid. I got attacked by an alligator there.
Well, okay.
Yeah, you make it sound like it was an alligator bigger than you.
Yeah, I don't.
Hey,
It
even if it was Cayman size, that thing could still fuck you up.
Oh hey Lau,
And-
I'm doing a consistent accent. So fucking yeah.
Yes, I am very much appreciative of it. It's just
Yeah.
Captain that has no fucking taste or culture.
Oh okay, cool.
Anyway, continue.
The South is not a culture.
Oh my god.
Yes, it is.
The South will rise again.
The South is more
Say
culture than you.
phrases like that.
The South has more culture than you.
Oh my god.
Fucking
Fuck.
discount
Anyway, continue.
Californian.
Okay, I will continue. Faunus had no property save for that which the masters lent them. It was not allowed by law. The clothing that they wore whilst around humans merely loaned, never owned. Your man? The woman's voice was soft as she leaned closer. Ian could smell the faint hint of orchards as the woman gazed at her with a look she couldn't decipher. You wish to lay claim to the man of the house? You? A slave? Aren't you a slave, too? She couldn't hide how she felt. This woman dared to question her on her feelings. She liked him a whole damn lot. A whole damn lot more than most people. He made her happy. I will make sure that he survives to lead the family. I will make sure that he has his happiness, even if I have to suffer Mistress Saffron's attentions. He's made me happy. The frown on Ash's face was enough to show the disapproval. The woman's close proximity made her feel the threat. The woman had aura, an experience on her side. The grim that Yang had beaten when her father was still alive was nothing compared to an aura unlocked Faunus. As the sun sets and the night falls, the words were from an ancient poem she knew. It had been something that had been murmured during the Great War, during the time when the people had been united in their hate for the other kingdoms. It was a traditional saying.
We're united in hatred, my kindred.
It was a traditional saying, one that gained popularity in her days. The woman must be in her 50s, so it was likely that she was pre-revolution. You are being watched, girl, and that'll never come up again. The woman's voice was soft. Judged. Tapped to her jugular from the finger as the woman's face came closer. Albus Moores will find you if you break my little yellow death's heart. The name was familiar. Brought back a memory from the past as she tried to puzzle out how it would relate. It's not hard to say, Yang, that the Great War was won because the Ark made a surgical strike to the base camp of the Australian forces. Albus Moores reaped a lot of souls back then. Questioning look as her father smiled. Flickering flames of the fire didn't do much to hide the pallid color of his skin, the emaciated face looking at her with a smile that had never faded. I've seen a picture of it. Darn lethal tool wielded with supreme efficiency by its owner. It had been her question afterward that had made the man laugh even louder at the guess that the weapon must be able to win the war. She'd been disappointed when he wouldn't give her more information. No, it's not something that they would tell many about. It's only because I know. Well, I used to know someone who told me about it. She had an interest in the Great War, namely because of the weapons used then, and to imagine that weapon would be used to kill her would be the one that... To imagine that the weapon would be used to kill her would be that one was this fucking motherfucker.
To imagine that the weapon would be used to kill her would be that one was a scary thought. It's missing a comma in there.
Yeah, fucking whatever, and several other fucking things too. It had been known by her father, which meant that it had some status. An executioner's blade won't be able to kill me. The red eyes looked at her, anger showing in them as the aged face remained passive. I would kill myself for breaking my man's trust. First you shove the katana in your stomach, then you twist it, and you move it down a little bit to get your entrails out, and then you have your friend cut your head off, and that's seppuku. Thank you, everybody. A crack of a smile made the woman's face look wicked, with that hint of emotions as the finger pressed against her neck. Good, the woman said as the door opened and John walked in, dressed in an outfit that looked formal. It was a suit-like kind of thing, 2 golden threads stitched arcs on his left breast, a handkerchief sticking out of a pocket. It too bore the crest, visible on the white cloth. She is nearly done, Master Ark. The crocodile faunus's woman's voice was formal, as the blonde woman who accompanied him looked like she had spent a few days too long without sleep. The bags under her eyes were prevalent. His tired blue eyes looked at her. Nice. She looks like a good one. Did you need more of the juice for Kitty? Her master looked at her for a moment before he looked thoughtful.
I don't need anything,
Well,
thank you very much.
Oh,
My brain is so fucking toasted right now. I didn't even fucking recognize.
I can take what you want.
Wow. Okay.
Law's taking point now.
okay.
Nice.
Oh, come on. This is gonna be horrible.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying I can take over because.
As cringe as Courier's southern accent was. No. I'm not gonna
So
even
we're
finish that sentence.
changing reader.
Can I get to the stop thing, whatever down
Sure.
there, the break? Thank you.
Okay.
Well, I'd like to have sex with Kitty again.
Well,
I hate everything.
But he's a bit willful.
I'm flattered. Thank you very much, but
So the question, Kitty, are you willful or not?
I don't agree.
Do you have
Sorry.
an unbreakable spirit?
I do.
Oh, God.
Yes. Sorry.
It's all good, but she's a bit willful. I understand. The understatement of the month, at least, more like the century or the millennium.
The
She supposed it would
galactic
be.
century.
The galactic, the millennium eternity of the universe. That cat could seem to have her head screwed on wrongly if she could dismiss the good graces of the man who was supposed to own her collar. Name's Argent Arc, but you'll be calling me Mistress Arc, Mistress Argent, slave. The curt and formal tone of the woman as she pulled something out, her hand grabbing Yang's chin and then opening her mouth. Good teeth. Stick your tongue out. She did as she was asked, and the woman looked at the tongue for a moment before nodding. All right, this looks like a good fauna specimen. Are you sure that you won't hand her over to me? I can make her breasts bigger when I give her back. It's for science! Woohoo! Her master's look was unamused. Argent Arc grinned, ruffling his hair fondly. I knew you wouldn't. I'm so close to finding a cure for their kind. But the last few details? Well, final solution, if you understand. A deep sigh as she looked at her brother's still unamused face. Yang feeling the attention go to him. Gotta keep looking. Cammy wants a solution to the problem. A final one. I'm researching plenty of them. Yang supposed that she might be friendly with the woman, considering how casually she talked. It was different in comparison to the other sisters, but Yang knew that it was not to be so easily done. Master Jean, I hope that I am to your approval, she asked, trying to get him to look at her. The smile on his lips was warm. She felt his gaze rest on her. Of course, pet. The term pet had been used. She didn't feel embarrassed or anything. He had said that he would never need to act like a master should, and this was just the trial run. Everything would be okay. All right, Lal, you want to read? Go ahead, motherfucker.
It's up to you now, boy.
Lala's like, look at me. I'm the reader now.
I'm the reader now.
I'm the narrator now. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy.
If he, I was gonna say I'm gonna give him 30 seconds to get back on his mic. If he doesn't, I'm gonna continue reading.
Oh,
I
that's
just want to
what
say that this section is half of the entire chapter.
Yep, this is fantastic.
This is the
half of the fucking chapter
This
has
is the
been
lower.
inane bullshit.
Hey, Kitty, remember how I gave you some extremely light criticism for saying like dedicating 2 paragraphs or whatever to somebody cooking was too long? Yeah, Kitty, I take everything back. Everything.
Ah!
I mean, it's obvious that there is no editor here.
Yeah.
Because
Also,
there's
it's
a lot
been-
of things that.
Also, it's been 30 seconds. I'm
sound
gonna
wrong.
continue.
Hello.
Hey, Lau. You missed the time, so I'm gonna continue reading.
Alright.
Blake was not happy. She had been forced to go back to the room of
Yes.
her owner. A man who was put his cock in her and had taken her maidenhood. Someone who had let her suffer someone who had let her suffer much pain and discomfort, all for the joys of making sure that he got his erection treated with the dignity that he felt he deserved. She wondered what had made her answer the wrong way. She did not like him one bit, but was he worthy of being her master? Was she worthy of being his slave? He hadn't been bad. That had been his sister's. His older sister, Juniper, was a demon from hell. baiting her savagely, and her fellow faunists had been unable to understand her plight. A revolution was what they needed, not submission. The heat in her loins was bad. She felt the need, knowing that she was going to be in the presence of a man once more. The flames, once stoked, could not go down easily. So, she wriggled a little, trying to get herself pleasure. The maid outfit that she'd been forced to wear was uncomfortable, digging into her groin, the arms that had been locked behind her back not allowing her some time to move. The crocodile faunus was wicked. She had spat the name of the traitor at her, said there had been more honor in that bastard than in her. The woman spoke as if it had been a noble cause, rather than the brutal treachery that it was. He'll come for me. He'll come for me and we'll escape. She could imagine taking one of the arc bitches with her. A good few days under the treatment of the men would make them sing a different tune. She hoped that it was the gay one. That bitch had fucked her in the ass and it still hurt. She hoped that the girl would learn to like men. That'd serve her right.
Wait, who is this Blake talking?
This
Yes.
is Blake talking. Who the
Didn't
fuck
she
do you think
say?
it is?
Didn't she say that she was a virgin?
Yes, she was.
Yeah, but back then she was fucked in the ass. So
No.
she's technically not a virgin by the time that John gets to her.
No,
she's talking
she got
about
fucked in the
the,
ass after John fucked her.
Ah, alright.
Yeah, so John fucked her first, and then Blake was all Blake and being bitchy, and then Saffron fucked her in the ass. Yeah, okay.
Alright, but yeah, my actual point was that her solution to being raped is to rape others.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't like Blake. Anyway. Not kill them, by the way, just rape them. Okay.
I mean, isn't that what you want to do?
I mean,
To
as
Blake,
you do.
yeah, because she fucking deserves it, because she's a worthless piece of shit. Not good for
But
me.
now you're just like her, don't you realize? It's a circle of violence!
It's a circle of violence. Well, guess who the fucking perpetrator of that violence was?
Standing here,
the circle
I
of rape.
realize you were just like me, trying to make history.
I can feel the animal inside.
Stop referencing better stuff, damn it.
The door opened, and the bastard and his older sister walked in. The woman familiar to her, having glanced her earlier, knowing that her name was Argent and that she had made her feel pleasant. Drug-induced pleasant. But she had gotten an orgasm. Twisted. The bastard looked nice in his suit. The blonde traitor walked behind her, and she tried to firm herself up. She was not checking out the man who had raped her. He just looked decent, she supposed. The kitty
I'm not
seems
checking
to
you out. You just look good.
The kitty seems to want to suck your cock, John. My, do leave some for Ruby. The rapist asshole flushed, his hand smacking his sister's side, who smirked at her brother. The silver-eyed girl had been called Ruby, she faintly remembered. The little tramp must be after the bastard for some reason or the other. Undoubtedly more to bring death to faunus babies. All humans were the same after all. We're not like that.
You know, no. Again, we all want death to faunus babies.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
find me a man who doesn't want death to faunus babies.
absolutely. I mean, let's put this into context. She dated a fucking Nazi pedophile for several years, so yeah. Anyway, we're not like that, Argent. We're friends. So, will you take me to the Winchesters? The woman shrugged, nodding once. As long as there's some place where I can doze off, I'm fine with whatever. June was really mad for some reason, but don't worry, brother. Sharp glare sent right at her. This little mongrel won't be a problem. Let's get her gagged properly, shall we? The traitor and the crocodile faunus were getting her dressed. Simple white uniform that looked nice on her. As the woman pulled out a small box, unveiling the muzzle that sat there, used for faunus whose mouths could not be trusted. Oh no, they are not putting that thing on me. Don't you dare.
She dare.
You just scroll down, Kitty.
Don't you dare! Watch
You
me,
dare
bitch.
You dare question my daring dare against your dare?
Okay.
Don't
yeah,
you-
there.
Yeah, there you go. Don't you dare, she hissed, and there was something that changed in the bastard's eyes. A coldness that she didn't feel good about. His foot shooting out, hitting her full force in the face. I dare, slave. You are nothing but the property of Ark. His
Kinky.
voice was stricter. Oh, very kinky. His voice was stricter, colder, calmer. A man who was everything that she hated. Yet her heart throbbed in pain. Stricter, colder, calmer. That's a man I can get behind. As his hand grabbed her by the hair, jerking her head up, put it in her mouth, Argent. A punch to her face. Right at the moment he'd finished the last syllable. It hadn't been in his nature, but it had been something that she had feared. After the crocodile had spoken her piece, the man's fist had marked her cheek, but she tried to keep her mouth shut. Open wide, little animal. The sudden touch to her jaws and the savage jerk of the woman as something was forced into her mouth. The gag forced into her mouth. And then... Really? Is that a sentence? As something was forced into her mouth, the gag forced in... Okay, fuck it. The gag forced into her mouth, and then the leather harness forced around her head. That
should be a period, but don't worry about it.
You forced the force of forceness upon my force. You force and understand force. Okay. Her eyes looking angrily at the bastard and his sister. She didn't feel like she could trust him in the slightest, and he'd dared to abuse her like this too. Get up, slave. The words were cool, as his hand pulled her up by the hairs. The lustrous locks that she'd always kept in good grooming used as a handle. She wasn't good. She wasn't against the thought of a touch of roughness as the blonde stepped forward. The outfit that she wore a contrast to the dark maid uniform that she wore. I am ready, Master Ark. The respectful way that the traitor spoke to the bastard rapist who had taken her liberty was rankling. As the lilac eyes met hers, anger roiling through her system. A small smile as the traitor received a pat to her forehead, some that obviously pleased the young woman, as the needy scent increased from her. Blake could imagine that it would be just perfect, feeling his hand in her hair, hearing him growl that she was just a slave for her pleasure, for his pleasure, that she was defeated by him and made into a servant. Sent a tingle down her loins as she could imagine the rapist telling her to get to her knees to service him. The blonde sent her a look, even as she realized that she'd not moved 1 inch, though he'd put her up on her feet. Well? She didn't respond. His hand smacked her cheek. I asked you a question, Faunus. The word was spoken with anger as he looked at her. His sister was unriffled, but the rapist just continued. Are you going to obey or not? It was a question that she could not answer vocally, looking at him with a defiant look. She shook her head and, pain, her guts burned as someone's foot had buried itself into it. She was in the right. She knew. She was. A hand grabbed her head, the gag still affixed, torn from her mouth. When the master speaks, the slave obeys. The word from the old crocodile woman were cold, direct, and not to be denied. Are you a slave? Aura wrapped around her, compelling her to speak. I'm not a slave. I'm Blake Belladonna. I'm my own Faunus.
I am not a number. I'm a free man.
Yeah, that's what she wants to say in her head. I am a slave, and her throat closed up. The crocodile has said that it'd be one chance at redemption before, but you're a slave. The words were hard and cold. You will obey. Master Jean, my apologies for this disgraceful behavior. The smug rapist was smiling. She knew that Adam would be coming for her. The crocodile was bad too. She could fight for the Faunus, but she chose to be the dog of the humans. She's made her choice, Ash. The tone of his voice. She didn't like it. You know, Blake. He grabbed her head, her eyes forced to look up at him, as he moved close enough so she could smell the cologne that he wore, as well as the doe's scent. I liked you. You were really pretty. Yeah, and you're not too damn bad on the eyes either, except for that raping cock. The words slipped out of her mouth as she thought them, to her horror. A smile that was less than amused sat on his face. I'm glad you think that. His voice was sterner as he let go of her hair. Ash, make sure that she wears the formal livery. Force her to obey, if you must. The command given, the woman nodded once. Blake was grabbed by the arm and forcibly dragged away. She was stripped naked and then dressed. She was already fucking dressed. Why are they stripping her naked? Fuck it.
I don't dress. They changed attire for some fucking reason. Don't worry about it.
They already commented that she was... Yeah, don't think about it. It was a strange kind of feeling. I'd be dressed by a woman who could have been your grandmother. It's what we call a fucking cringe situation. The angry eyes that looked at her with anger and hate. Really, I thought the angry eyes would have looked at her with a look of lookingness.
A
He has not-
lustful nature.
He
A
has
lustful
not-
need.
Lustful need. I want to fuck you. He has not given you the final blessing yet, girl. You should cherish that. The woman's words were cold, even as she hissed. Speak the truth to me, Blake Belladonna. What has he done wrong? She was compelled to speak, her lips moving. Nothing. He has treated me decently. Better than I thought a human could. She hated herself for speaking those words. Her mouth continued. The older woman's hands continued to arrange her clothing, making sure that she met the standards. He looks like a man worthy to follow. Papa would like him. Papa's always wanted to work together with Mama and the humans. They are stupid. Every good human is dead. The woman sighed as the glow of aura abated. I do not agree. The words were damning as the woman looked her over. You look functional. Good. She wanted to say more, but her voice clammed up. She couldn't speak anymore. The woman's finger glowing faintly with a bright purple light.
Oh, for fuck's sake, stop changing.
What?
Okay.
What'd you say,
The
Corporal?
person who has the active nature on this scene is the crocodile, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're gonna change fucking characters, use their fucking name.
Yes, exactly. Fucking Christ. And also, yeah, she not only can she make people speak or whatever the truth or whatever on their mind, she can also make them shut up, which makes me wonder why she didn't do that before, but anyway.
Yes, the most powerful force in all of fiction. Vaguely defined power.
Yes, welcome to
It allows
welcome to
it
Ruby.
allows-
Rui.
Welcome to
Wait,
Ruby.
no, what was the thing? Oh yeah, contrivium. You could just fit it into anything in your story.
Aura the force.
Pochiturium.
Yeah. Aura the force, you can fit into anything.
Lord of the Rings magic.
I will give this to your fellow pet. She will decide when you can speak. She tried to say something, her expression changing, but her mouth not moving in the slightest. She felt her lips maintain a perfect seal, her voice taken from her. And do remember, this is your final chance, girl. If he is not happy with you before tomorrow morning, the look in the woman's eerie red eyes was deadly. There will be no more Blake Belladonna to walk this earth. Don't you mean this remnant? Fuck it, whatever. The threat felt real. The woman had aura. Blake did not. The woman could crush her owner's body like a bug if she so wished, yet she obeyed her master's orders. Coward, her lips spoke, the light on the finger dimming as the other hand still touched her. You could fight. You could kill all of them if you wished. I don't know why you are here, or why you are... Her voice stilled as the light resurged in brightness. I am ashamed to see the great-granddaughter of a man I respected be such a warmonger. The master calls for you, girl. His kindness has run dry. His other pet knows what true terror is. But so will you. It was not a pleasant smile that made the wrinkles on the aged woman's face stand out, the tail flicking slowly. And I know you met with Camilla. The woman's face and her hate of the faunus sprung to the forefront of her mind, as the crocodile faunus grinned, an unpleasant grin, as the woman's fingers brushed over her throat, a closing sensation as all air was cut off. She would have exploded your collar, kitten. The daughters of the house are all very opinionated. Master John, not... Is that a fucking period there? Oh my god.
Master John.
Nah. That's not a fucking sentence, you stupid motherfucker. There's no fucking motherfucker, okay.
The daughters of this house are all very ... opinionated, period.
Period. Master Jean,
not.
That's not a sentence. Master Jean, not. That's not a fucking sentence. It's a sentence in context
Okay.
of previous sentences, but it's not a sentence in and of itself.
No, this is worded instead of written. Because I hear people say, oh, not is the rhetorical... As written should be isn't.
Isn't, yeah. Master Jean isn't, not. Fucking Christ.
Not is what people, what teenagers say via Instagram.
Master Jean, not. Oh, take
Yep.
that into account, little rape kitten. There was a touch of mockery in the woman's voice. Kitty, are you a rape kitten?
Well, I'm the one that's doing it, so...
Fair enough, Kitty. Fair enough. Fair enough.
So yeah, he is a rape
take-
kitten.
Do
A
not
kitten
take
made
the
out of
jokes
rape.
serious. Oh boy. I'm
There
gonna
was
get
a
in trouble
touch.
with that
There was a
one.
touch of mockery in the woman's voice. There are far worse fates than a little rape kitten. Oh, yeah.
Look, it's just she was just slightly raped.
There are far worse fates than a little rape kitten. Yeah, like what's gonna happen to this author if I ever meet him someday. That's gonna be a lot worse than a little rape, let me tell you. Anyway, she was pushed towards the bedroom once more, where the bastard and his sister and the traitor stood waiting, his hand on the traitor's hip, brushing over it. The blonde bitch was rubbing against him like a cat, like she enjoyed the touch of that raping bastard's hand. But that was normal for betrayers of the race. The ox and tiger spoke the truth, always. I think that she's ready, Master Ark. The crocodile's voice was soft as the man looked at her. A smile, turning colder every second, was directed at her. She felt a shiver go through her as those eyes looked at her. You are a dumb animal, Blake. That hurt. She didn't speak up, her lips sealed. The collar around her throat felt heavy. Nothing but a dumb animal that was a gift. The words hurt more for some reason, as the blonde smiled at her. It was a smile of someone who was happy. Your other pet will have the control over whether she speaks or not, Master. I have taken. The young man held his hand up. Restore her voice. The faunus nodded, touching Blake's neck with a finger tap. It felt freeing to be able to speak again, as the man fixed her with a look. Because her hands were free, it was not a state of being unarmed, but a hint of danger was still there. So they put a muzzle on her, but they didn't bother to tie her hands. Okay.
Hey, priorities, man. Priorities.
Priorities. You can't be trained, and you only have your beauty preventing me from sending you with the other animals, Blake. A cool finality was in his voice, as the blonde deer rubbed against her owner, like some pet. The fact that she was growing wetter by the moment with every little hiss that the blonde gave at her was something worse. The like for him growing. She shouldn't like him. She shouldn't like to be corrected as if she was some naughty child. But get the regular muzzle, minus the bit. A harness.
Hey, I like being corrected about shit. Does that make me an animal?
Yes.
I guess so. Yeah, makes us
I
all
guess
animals.
You filthy animal.
Minus the bit. A harness was grabbed, pressed against her face. It was tied below, and her nose was freed only. The metal clamps wrapping around her neck and hooked into the collar. It prevented her from getting free, or at least made her need to spend some time to figure the mechanism out. I will not be seen with a punished slave. There will be my status to consider. The words made some sense to his sister, as she nodded in affirmation. Will you require me to wear one as well, Master? The blonde asked with a demure tone, the traitorous girl rubbing her sizable mammaries against her owner's shoulder. I'll make sure that she behaves. Make sure that you do. Winchester's an acquaintance, and I might find his treatment of his slaves abominable, but the social stigma of being unable to reign in my property cannot be applied to me. There was a hint of displeasure in his voice as he looked coolly at her. You can hold her leash, Yang.
Then why aren't you bringing the poorly trained one with you?
Yes, exactly. Oh, because he needs to show her what happens to bad animals. Or whatever. Fuck it, I don't care. The leash was made out of metal rings that had been set in leather, the links forged from silver, if she correctly guessed it. One was attached to Yang's collar as well, but it was not something that he held. The young man's eyes looking at her with a look that might be fucking motherfucker. I'm going to murder you, Mr. Author, man. Jesus, fuck. You don't pity the animals.
You need to switch out, or?
No, I can keep going. I can keep going hopefully until the next break. I don't know.
You filthy
The next
animal.
break is 3/4
Oh.
in.
I like. Hey, I like being corrected on stuff. Does that make me a dirty animal? Everybody says yes. Poor Lol being abused.
Okay.
Hey, Kitty gets it the worst. Well, I'd like to have sex with Kitty again. Sorry, 2020.
I mean, who wouldn't like to have sex with me?
A lot of people.
People with standards.
Is that a fucking
Oh, so-
invitation for you?
Oh, so Cap is totally into me then.
No,
gonna say they
unlike
can't
most of the
follow
women you probably slept with, I actually have standards.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
I'm gonna continue reading. You don't pity the animals who serve you, you rapist asshole. We're people. Hey Blake, have you ever heard
You
the
don't?
saying? If you ever heard the saying, if you fucking act like an animal, you're gonna get treated like an animal. Maybe you stop acting like an animal and you'll stop getting treated like one. You dumb.
Don't be
motherfucker.
bitch.
Yes, thank you. Not even bitch. Just stop acting like a literal animal. You're fucking hissing at him and doing all this stupid shit. Fuck off.
Don't you hiss at the people you want to treat nice? Like, treat you nicely?
Oh yeah, every
I
time.
tried to hiss into the microphone and it failed spectacularly. Okay.
No, I picked up the first half, but then it was
All it just ended up being is ear rape.
yeah.
I'm so sorry, everybody out there. The anger felt less as she looked into those eyes. Why did it feel like he was taking pity on her? Why did he look so sad? He was a raping bastard who had put his cock inside her. He had came inside her. He had been her first and her only, save for his homosexual sister, who could go gag on the grim devil's grungy cock for all she cared. Okay, that's a pretty
Wait, first? Is that gonna get retconned later? It feels like that's gonna get retconned later.
Yes. You see, the power. Her right. She. There's Adam, right, and he's the ox, and the ox can like command people to do things with their voice, include forgetting certain events. So, yeah, I'm just gonna leave it there. Okay.
She's just selectively forgotten that whole part.
Yeah, because fucking magic shit. How does that work? As you wish.
Work like magnets.
Magnus, how do they work?
How do they work? The hand grabbed her leash and pulled, her body moving. She felt weak all of a sudden as the man seized the leash that hung attached from Yang's neck. The blonde smiled at her as she tugged the leash closer. It was humiliating behavior as the blonde's arm wrapped around her shoulders. We're going to be the master's pet, Black. There was no salvation as the blonde squeezed down on her, a deep exhale following. And we're going to be the best looking and best behaved pets, right? She nodded, even though she did not want to. The blonde's eyes had flashed a deep red, and she had felt the urge to obey, lest the blonde grow angry. Her pussy was drenched now. Something else that she hated. Why was she getting so aroused? Why did it feel so good to be told where her place was? Because you're a fucking sub. You fucking idiot. Yeah, yes. It was a sinking sensation. Her legs felt numb. Even as he took the leash and then started walking, his sister following after her. The three... Hold on, I'm just cleaning my glasses off. Hold on a second. There we go, much better. Okay.
Wow, you wear glasses?
Yes, fuck off.
I didn't even
Oh,
know
such
that you
a nerd.
wore glasses.
Oh, I need to post. I need to post a picture of him sometime.
Fucking
But he
Mad,
looks fine.
Mad Courier sounds like the kind of dude who's around maybe 5'8", 5'9". He's normal build, possibly brown or black hair, wears a cowboy hat, white wife beater, shorts, and Crocs with socks.
You're missing the neck beard.
No, I don't see him as the kind of person who'd have a beard, at least from how I
Oh,
sound.
you're in for a surprise.
I was gonna say you got the brown hair correct, but actually I'm 6.5, not 5 feet 8 cap. So.
Eh. I was
And
kind of
when I
going
mean-
with
when I-
average.
When I mean 6.5, I mean 6 feet and like half, not 6 feet 6 inches tall.
Yeah, I was about to
Okay,
say
good,
6 feet
good.
6 inches tall. Why the fuck aren't you in the NBA, dude?
Yeah.
I was about to say, man, you're taller than Captain. Holy shit.
Yeah, no, 6 feet and half an inch. So yeah,
Yeah,
probably
'cause I'm 6 foot even.
probably be 6 feet 1 eventually, hopefully. Cause that half inch, man, that fatal half inch. Anyway. The fatal half inch. Fuck, where am I?
Just
his
remember this, Courier. And half an inch can mean the difference between awesome and disappointment for a woman.
Okay,
Fair enough,
three
fair
professional-looking huntsmen.
The three professional-looking, thank you, Corper. The three professional-looking huntsman bodyguards that had appeared once they had crossed the divide between the Ark household and the public were intimidating. But the rapist bastard was looking at everyone aside from her. She could see the eyes of the people on her, feel their questioning gazes. She had heard that faunus were sometimes walked by their owners, but the sight of a faunus walking a faunus was still. It's as if I'm just an animal being led by another animal. She felt small. Humans were staring, even as the two Arks merely did as they wished. Her master had a stoic look on his face, whilst his older sister looked like she was merely entertained by everything. The blonde trader looked like she was dutiful, mimicking the manner of her owner. She wanted to resist, but the feeling of people watching was crippling. She really is. Wow. Okay, she really is a fucking 13-year. Remember that sentence where she said Yang called her a 13-year-old girl who hadn't had her first period and was all about revolution this, revolution that. She really is that. Because she can't speak up in public. Okay. She wanted to tug the leash out of the hand of the other faunus, running away and getting out. But for some reason, she did not. He was indifferent to her. Perhaps a touch cold. Oh, more than a little, just more than just a touch cold, honey. His hand reached for the trader's butt, giving it a pinch and a little grin. A soft jostle of the bountiful assets, as the other faunus barely responded. Several of the humans given a knowing grin. The blonde trader was a beauty and a slave, and her body was her rapist's owner's. It was a show, a parade, where the human rapist showed off his toys. She was a toy. She was a pet. She could speak. She would cry if she could. It was humiliating to her. But as she glanced back, she caught something in his eyes. A coolness, as they bored right into hers. Her ears flattened, feeling her breath catch in her throat. A kick to her rear, by a shoe that he wore. Keep moving, faunus. Even though he's supposed to be in front of them, leading them, why is he able to fucking teleport behind her to kick her in the rear? Anyway. The distaste and disdain in that word made her feel pain. She was Blake, not faunus. Adam hadn't come for her. He probably could have, but the words of the woman still rung through her here. Wow. Her head.
That's the reason why you know that he was fucking lying about having an editor.
At least at this chapter. Maybe in the last chapters, he has an editor.
No,
he does a terrible job.
Corper, the last chapters don't get any better, and let me tell you right now, the grammar in the future chapters don't go any better either. So, don't go any better, don't get any better. God damn it. Fucking this goddamn...
It's infectious.
I can see the courier also needs an editor.
Fuck for my goddamn brain. It's like if a bunch of little people were in my brain controlling me, the fucking editor in my brain or whatever, my filter would just be like in the background, just like passed out drunk. It's like,
oh shit, I covered wrong.
He's unconscious on the floor.
It just reminds me of that one scene where I could just imagine Courier's little editor. He's like that teacher that just lost all hope, and he used to hide the alcohol bottle that he had in his desk, but now he just openly has it right there and drinks from it regularly in front of the students.
Funny enough, Captain, right to my left, about 2 inches from my hand, is, like I said, is a bottle of beer, so what does that say? Hey, that counts for my grammar, too.
Just lost all hope.
Yeah.
Again, I don't believe that you're any better sober when it comes to writing.
Me?
Yes.
Okay, thanks for that fucking vote of confidence there, Lal.
I'm stating the obvious, sorry.
Hey, Courier, just take it like this. Lyle is insulting you, so get better and then do it out of spite.
So, Lal, are you saying I couldn't write something better than this garbage?
No, I'm not saying...
I am saying that.
Well, I'm saying that I did meant to...
So, I'm waiting for this mod, okay?
Yes, I am not as a good writer as Kitty, but guess what? I don't fucking write for a living, you fucking jack-off.
I didn't mean that in the actual writing, I meant in the spelling. But yes, you could have...
No. Lal, spelling-wise, I will 100% agree with you. My spelling is fucking terrible.
I was not talking about your actual, writing qualities. I like to think that even demented monkeys could write better by just hammering into the keyboard. But instead, you'd have some entertainment by deciphering the actual wording.
That reminds me of a funny thing, is how they did actually try to do that, where they locked a bunch of monkeys in with a typewriter, and one monkey managed to just write 40 pages of the letter S. He just put S, 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 S over and over.
Clearly, he's trying to join the SS.
Yeah.
Clearly. But anyhow, I'm telling you, you are not able. So
and also,
come with this mod to prove me wrong.
Yeah. Shut up, Corper. Anyway, even
psychology, am I right, fellas?
I was gonna say, even if my fucking my goddamn fucking grammar isn't better than this person's, at least I know how to use this thing called Microsoft Word which would pick up the majority of these fucking grammatical errors, funnily enough. Yeah. Even though Microsoft Word sucks, and that's saying something. Who would come for the granddaughter of a traitor? She wanted to act out, but she felt a deep numbness settle under her core. A large gate, shaped in a large W with small crowns on it, stood there before them. The intercom pressed once. "Open up, or here." The words were informal and calmly spoken. Oh god, loud that. The words were informal and calmly spoken. One of the huntsmen speaking, the gates swinging open slowly without a creak. Well-oiled and welcome back, Lau. Well-oiled and well-maintained they were, as Blake marveled at the sculptures that she saw arranged there. The long driveway up towards the home as white as the moon in the night, the sculptures of members of the family. She spotted a faunus gardener, though it was only apparent that he was one from the collar that he wore around his neck, slowly working on trimming a hedge. The man looked worn out and bedraggled, pale and thinner than most people would imagine is healthy. Her rapist did not think anything of it, moving along without a hurry. Blake's keen eyes spotting several more faunus gardeners, readily prepping the garden for visitors, perhaps inspired by the sudden visit. No shit, you dumb motherfucker.
Also, more thinner than was healthy, thought most people. You know that these days people are insulted by the idea that there are thin people?
Yeah.
No, but I don't live in the US.
Wow,
so
what weightest? Like, how many isms can we give this person? Oh my god.
A lot. The door swung
Wait,
open when they reached the house. A tall man standing there. Blake imagined that he must be of a height with the rapist who had broken her womanhood open for the first time as the blonde
Broken
smiled.
her womanhood open.
What fucking sentence is
Cracked
that?
your woman
What?
hood open like a fucking nut.
Like a nut. What fucking sentence is that? Okay. You know they say pop your cherry, right? Not crack your walnut. Never fucking heard that.
Cracked up fucking.
He
He
shucked
cracked
the
that
clam.
fucking.
You crack that walnut. You crack the shell and get out to the sweet,
He
delicious.
cracked that clam open.
Pry the clam open to get to the juicy clam meat.
Can we put any more clams in this clam meat?
Remember, eating raw oysters will make you sick.
Sorry, I just had like a mini stroke there from this fucking retarded shit. Had our
What the fuck was
Winchester. The young man, seemingly of an age together, gave each other a handshake. The other man's voice, a tough more arrogant than her master's. A hand was gestured towards the house as the Arc sister walked up the stairs. Pets, follow the faunus. You are not desired yet. She would speak out, but her lips were sealed. No doubt due to some sort of hidden semblance or the other. You literally know why your lips are...
She is blaming
Don't think
semblances
about it.
now.
She followed after... Well, that's the semblance of the crocodile faunus. She can fucking either make you speak the truth or make you shut your voice up.
Alright, that's powerful. She should know.
Yeah, she should know because she fucking used it on her, but whatever. She followed after the woman dressed as a maid. I almost thought that said mad. As a maid, taking note that her trait seemed to have been hidden as well. The collar around her neck perfect, as the woman remained silent. The blonde traitor looked around as the smell of sweat and unwashed bodies came to her as the maid led them through a side door to see the massed together faunus. The maid stood there, silent, motioning towards a pitcher filled with water and a large pot full of some porridge-like substance. It looked moldy and smelled a little rancid. A grungy film clung to the porridge, making her turn her nose up to it. "Thank you," the traitor said, pouring herself a glass of water in a dirty cup that hadn't been washed. She grimaced at the offer of the cup before the traitor undid the muzzle, the freeing sensation of being able to move her head again as a blessing as she opened her jaw. "Drink or you'll be thirsty. It's the good graces of the owners that we're even getting fed." Oh boy, I'm so sorry for this everything from here on out that's going to happen, Captain, because I know how you feel about this character. Hey, a voice.
I am very much well aware. I've already steeled myself for how dirty they're going to do poor Velvet.
Yeah. Hey, a voice said, and Blake's eyes caught sight of a faunus girl who was sat apart, the other faunus keeping their distance. You're new here, too, aren't you? They won't tell me. They won't tell me what's going to happen. The bunny ears were a nice touch, as Blake smiled. A faunus who was willing to speak, even as her blonde companion exhaled softly. My name is Blake. Blake Belladonna. Remember how a couple chapters ago she didn't want to give out her last name because it would endanger...
Remember how you called this fanfic catharsis?
In terms of Blake getting the shit beaten out of her at multiple points and almost getting raped by a horse. Yeah, that's...
Almost?
What?
You
Almost.
said almost get raped by a horse.
Almost.
Oh, holy shit, that was the first thing you sent me.
Yeah. Almost.
Our conversation started. Alright, I'm just gonna share this to VC. Holy shit, I forgot about this.
Where?
Lounge VC.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm looking for a picture for the guys that against help. Oh yeah, just a fucking... Oh yeah, there's a lot of shit in here. Holy balls.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, one day we're gonna have to play through that one game I bought you.
Eve.
Anyway, continue
Whatever.
Continue on the adventure.
Hey man, if you just like skip through the fanfic just to the parts where Blake is getting the shit beaten out of her, it is catharsis, okay?
At that point, you're losing the point.
I know, but still. I'll take whatever I can get. Fucking Christ. My name is Blake. Blake Belladonna. Everything's gonna be fine, sister. Her smile seemed to put her at ease, even as the traitor looked around. There were pitying gazes sent at the three of them for some reason, as if something was gonna happen. I hope so. I didn't make the quota at the pharmacy. Master Winchester has bid me here. My name is Velvet. Velvet Scarlatina. Like the war hero. Well, that was Grandpa, but... Blake could imagine the girl would be forced to be in the man's bed. It had happened to her too, after all. Yeah, if only. The raping assholes will make you feel bad, but as long as you keep believing, the rabbit fauna smiled as she closed her eyes. Do you know the song? My mother taught it to me. A low humming, the first few notes of the revolutionary anthem. A shudder went through the other faunas, but they didn't move a muscle. Come on, you can do it. All it takes is enough to rise up and we can overthrow the masters. I know it. Shall we sing together? The words would come easy. It had been her favorite song back with her brothers and sisters, before she had been stolen away, before she had been raped and treated like this.
Ooh, ooh.
Oh my god, I wonder what fucking thing, because there's no way he wrote this. It's a shitty... Oh god, I wonder what he fucking stole this from. When the dawn breaks and the morning comes, our eyes... No, I'm not gonna even try it. Fucking... When the dawn breaks and the morning comes, our eyes will be shut and closed. The first couplet, to speak of their inborn traits. Those who had had night vision slept during the day, whilst those with sensitive hearing slept during the night. A trait that would allow them to survive the war as they had fought against the humans. Well, yeah, you survived, but you didn't fucking win, you dumb motherfuckers. Drown them in their blood, expunge them all, our rights guaranteed by bond. She could see the blonde look at her, a sad look in her eyes. The four bring us together, our offense will begin to mount. A sigh as the blonde looked at her again. As the rabbit fauna sang the final couplet, there were tears in the traitor's eyes, a sign that she empathized with their plight. The maid who had let them inside had tears in her eyes as well, but she dismissed that. Do you not hear the call for blood, sister? The question came in the blonde trader's head, and the blonde trader heaved a loud sigh. It was at that time that someone rapped on the door, a swift 3 knocks. The maid walked to the door, and another fauna stood there, a man in his late 40s, a venerable age for most of them these days, wearing a crest on his right chest, the symbol of the house, if Blake was not mistaken. The master desires that she is to be brought up to him for entertainment purposes. There was no humor in the man's voice as he looked at the pair of them. Inheritor Ark wishes to ensure that his pets are well cared for, and he has ordered refreshments to be brought for the one known as Yang. The silent maid carried in a tray that had a single cup of soup on it, fragrant and warm, a loaf of bread laid at the side. It looked better than the bread that the others had been provided, the smell of it lingering in the room. Scroll down, please, kitty.
Ooh, baby.
fuck are we? I lost it completely.
Blake was not mistaken.
Oh, there it is. There, I found it. He has
References one known as Yang.
He was instructed.
He has instructed this one to watch before returning with the one chosen for entertainment purposes. The blonde strode to the tray, looking at the cup of soup and then nodding. Here, the bread was broken in half and a piece was thrown at her. Share that with your friend. The blonde bit down, tasting the bread, a look on her face of obvious pleasure. The bitch was enjoying this preferable treatment. The rapist
Okay, who's
bastard.
her?
Where?
Okay, who's her?
Hers.
Who the fuck are they throwing the bread at?
They're throwing it Yang.
No. Yang has the bread and she's throwing it at Blake.
Oh.
Hmm.
See, I don't even fucking know.
That's my problem with this. Okay, the problem with this is not narration. This is written.
Mm-hmm. Fuck my life. Anyway. The bitch was enjoying this preferable treatment. The rapist bastard and his human friend were gonna be raping that nice faunus girl, no doubt, if only.
Nice faunus girl.
Yeah. No doubt.
Yeah,
If she was gonna be
don't-
called up for...
Don't, please. Don't make it any harder for me than it has to be.
I'm sorry, Cap.
Because I love Velvet. She's an adorable little bunny.
Make it as hard as possible, Courier.
Do it.
If she was gonna be called up for entertainment. No, it's not rape, it's worse than that.
It's a horse.
Oh no.
No, it's not a horse. Well, actually, never mind. It's not. I guess it depends on how bad you think rape is. But anyway,
Depends on how bad you think rape is.
well, I don't want to. I'm not gonna say anything else. I'm not gonna spoil anything.
Look, if she, I would only accept that she get the role of a concubine. Anyway, anything worse is
Motherfuckers,
breaking
can
my
I
heart.
can I keep reading, please? Thank you very much.
No.
Okay.
Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah,
Fuck,
go
God
ahead.
damn it, because I keep losing my fucking place.
Go ahead.
Called up for entertainment. The girl had sang the song so well that she could have easily gone professional, had the operas still taken Faunus as singers. It was not fair to see the girl undoubtedly be mistreated. The bread tasted good, though, as she split it in half, the shy smile on the rabbit Faunus's face attractive and endearing, as her newly made friend seemed to have some sort of thought. It tastes good. This is good human bread, freshly baked. Inheritor Ark has requested that the one known as Yang is to be given the treatment as befits a major domo. The word was strange, but it seemed to fit. The Faunus maid seemed to understand, giving a little nod towards the blonde and a curtsy, which the trader waved off. The blonde finished the soup with a loud slurp, looking at the man before setting the cup onto the maid's tray again. Blake felt a sting of jealousy as she realized that her master hadn't put her on the same level as the blonde, nor had he given her any charity. I shouldn't feel hurt that he prefers a blonde bimbo with no ethics and love for his species as a partner. Well, that's a pot calling the kettle black there. He is just a rapist. He'll rape me again. Come with me, girl. The rabbit Faunus finished her bread, smiling brightly at the man. My name is Velvet Scarlatina, sir. Blake saw the man's face twitch for a moment, as the wooden smile appeared on his face. Whatever the master wishes of me, I will do. The man nodded, sending a look at the maid who had been their attendant. Please do show the two pets of Inheritor Ark to the first Faunus waiting room after 10 minutes have passed. Inheritor Ark may wish to show them off during the meal. The maid nodded, remaining silent throughout the whole exchange. As the door closed, Blake could see Yang look at her with a look. Wow. Look at her with a look. Amazing. The maid who had carried the tray. Fucking motherfucker. Okay, I'm giving up the accent. The maid who had carried the tray, having disappeared with the man who had picked Velvet up. No words, Major Domo. The insulting tone that she took was meant to rile the blonde up. The blonde Mary looked at her with a look.
Isn't it just amazing how one person can just write the same words so many fucking times it just becomes like background noise?
White noise?
Oh man, this is...
No, it's just literally like you turn on the TV and all you get's the snow and you just like zone out as you're listening to that. That's basically what this is.
Pretty much.
Could you put the comma
Just like,
after
as
looking
soon
at
as
her,
like, look,
and then remove
look.
with a look that, and just looking at
Yeah.
her, comma, clearly stating her feelings on the topic.
Yeah, Blake could see Yang look at her with a look. Fucking Christ. Okay. Every time that happens, by the way, I'm now going to take a sip from my beer. This thing will be done in approximately 2
Every
minutes.
time they repeat a word in the same sentence, you take a sip.
Yeah, take a sip.
No,
Not a-
you
not a
die.
shot.
You die. You
Not a
die.
shot, because that way lies lies a repeat of October.
Yeah, you take a sip. You don't dunk it because you're gonna kill yourself.
I will absolutely kill myself if I do that. Anyway, the maid who had carried the tray having disappeared with the man who had picked Velvet up. Fuck no, we're already way past that.
Or brothers.
The blonde merely looking at her with a look that stated her feelings on the topic. Our brothers and sisters are captive, meek like mere children awaiting their father's rod. Do we allow that to happen? Do we
Yes.
not care for their health as we should?
No.
They're afraid to speak up. The blonde gave her a look, disgust on her face showing clearly. You're a wild-born cat, Black. The maid gave her a look of pity. Those eyes looked at her as if she didn't know better, as if there was something wrong with her. You don't know what some others do. Velvet is nice. Hopefully she'll bite their cock off. Mocking laughter from the blonde. Laughter that was a touch too high-pitched. There was a deep laugh. After the high-pitched one? Okay. That's some good beer. There was a deep laugh. One that had mocked her statement, all that it stood for. Oh, that's a good one. Sure. We'll see whether Master's cock is still attached when we go home, Black. I'll hold you down whilst you're the one getting fucked. She frowned. Velvet would do the right thing. She knew the song of the revolution. The newfound sister would know what to do. Okay, I'm not reading anymore. Somebody else read this fucking dribble.
Alright, I'm taking over after this short little intermission of, let me just go down to the file now that I've been browsing our history.
Oh, I can
And
give
with
you
that-
the URL. Oh wait, no,
Hmm?
you have it streamed, right? Yeah, never mind.
You can't stop it. It's too late to stop now.
This
I
is
guess-
Three Dog. You can't stop the signal, baby.
But yeah, I'm just
Three diggity dog.
When one dog ain't enough and two is too low, it is Three Dog.
Is that
right now.
Courier?
No.
Dude,
Mm-mm.
you look. If that's Courier, dude, you look fucking high as fuck.
That
that was during our anime watch of Ruby.
Okay, that is Courier. He does look fucking dead to the world. and
You look
fucking
even
high.
more generic than me, holy shit.
Thank you very much, Kitty. I appreciate it. And I will
Alright.
have you know that my beard does not look like shit now. It actually looks like a proper, nice, beautiful beard. So.
Your voice does not match your face.
Oh, I know that very much. Thank you.
Yeah, for once I was actually being nice and not insulting you on that one. Although I do have to like how your face just looks devoid of all hope. Like
I
you're just
know,
staring
I made-
there.
I made that
Eyes
expression on purpose.
like halfway open, your eyelids are basically like half closed, your mouth
My
is
eyes are
agape.
crossed.
You just you look literally like you're dead.
Actually,
Like
now that
literally fucking
yeah,
just
now
like
that I
you
look at it,
you
my
have
right eye-
you have no soul.
I don't know how I got my eyes to cross like that, because if you look, my right eye is like looking up and inwards, and my left eye is like looking down and like the other way. I don't know how I did that.
It's like your brain was just like being shut off slowly from this torture.
I forgot what episode I took that at. I think it was some point in season 5 or volume 5, whatever.
Also, what's with everybody in this fucking group having a beard except for fucking Lol?
I don't fucking
And me, because I actually shave.
nice. I was gonna say also LOL's gonna keep dropping out, so I'll keep reading. Even though I don't want to. It was distractful to say the least to see the fawning of someone of lower status than he was. Yet it would show Blake a good image of what others of lesser breeding would treat their pets as. Okay. As the opulent welcoming hall had been prepared post-haste for his visit, he knew Cardin would be trying his best to make sure that he had the best place available. Best. It's a nice thing to meet again, don't you think, Herr Winchester? The formalities of the upper speech would not allow him to use the personal name in the home of the family unless specifically requested, which generally happened once the guest was settled.
Holy shit, I'm in.
Yeah.
Thank fuck. Let me see if it actually works.
We just have to break.
Come upstream. Alright, that's holy shit, that's terrible quality.
I can keep reading on my end. That's fine, man.
Let me see. Which chapter are we on?
Chapter 11.
11.
We are at the third break, like 3/4 of the way through.
Yep.
Alright,
That's the final break.
Oh no!
Yeah, just.
Please do call me Cardin, Inheritor Arc. That's where we're at.
The Fang. Why Fang? Broken Fang. Broken Fang.
Just type in Broken Fangs AO3. You'll get that shit real quick.
You can.
Oh yeah, there it is.
that
So,
thing.
cyanide of sins. Yes, you are indeed a cyanide pill that should swallow itself. The aftermath. Alright, there we go.
No, grooming.
Did everybody see that?
Chapter is called grooming. Chapter 11.
Yep, did everybody see
Oh,
that?
chapter 11.
Did everybody see that thing I posted in shit posting earlier?
Oh.
He released a new
great.
story, and the title is amazing. So
Oh
amazing.
yeah, and absolutely amazing.
Fang bus.
Bang Bus. Get it? Because there's the porn website called Bang Bus.
Which one? Is it Blake was not happy? Is that the one? Blake was not happy?
No.
Okay, you can control F what I put on launch PC.
Alright. What did you post? Let me see. There we go. I'm at it.
I finished my
Okay.
drink. Yes.
Alright.
Time to
There we
pour
are.
myself some alcohol.
Wow, you were saying yes, just like Blake getting dick down.
Or are we a bit? No, we're a bit over. So just the first dialogue, and
So,
it is
please
nice
do-
things.
Please do call me Cardin. Is that the one?
No, the one over that. It's nice things. It's it's a
Alright,
nice thing
so,
to meet.
Corporate, shut the fuck up. He's there. He's at the right place.
Alright, so which I didn't catch half of that.
It's a nice thing to meet again, don't you think, Winchester?
Alright, so which accent should I choose? Should I choose the really annoying one? My Mickey Mouse voice? Or should I just read normal?
I like how you can actually sound like Mickey Mouse without even trying because your natural voice is that fucking high.
Yeah, you don't even have an accent, or you already have an accent, Lyle, so you don't need to.
I don't. My accent's fucking flat.
Your accent is basically Dane. You're a Dane.
Hør her, bare fordi jeg er dansk, skal I ikke være så racistisk imod mig, okay?
What?
9.
9?
9.
I'm gonna say 9 on that one. A hard 9.
Okay, I siger alle sammen 9 til mig? Okay, så siger jeg 9 til jer. Alright, we got all that? Great. Anyway,
Yeah.
it's a little sweet to me that I'm going to
Entendí ni
fit.
nada, güey, que estoy hablando, pero sigamos.
I can't
Yeah, Winchester?
I don't care.
The formalities of the upper speech would not allow him to use the personal name in the home of the family, unless specifically requested, which generally happened once the guest was settled out. Please, do call me Cardin! Inheritor Arc! The status difference was so large as to make it impossible for Cardin ever to refer to him as anything but Lord Arc, and even then, Inheritor Arc was still more preferable. His older sister was amused in her manners, as she brushed off the offer of warmed maize for a glass of fine wine, the tray held out to him, a glass taken. It would be impolite to refuse, as he was the primary guest. Cardin's face was a perfect tan, as he looked expectantly, as John sipped the wine. A good vintage, perfect for guests who were to be impressed. Cardin, of course! We're friends, are we not? The young man might have wished to intimidate him if he had been in another world, another place, yet there was no such thing. Hello, fourth wall! Nice to see you breaking apart. With a single word from him, the Winchester family would feel the full force of societal death visited. Of course, Inheritor Arc! It was a rare offer for a friend to be given the usage of a personal name. To Lady Rose, Ruby's mother, it came naturally, as she was a friend of his mother's, so her daughter was allowed to use his personal name and, see his penis. He felt a little awkward. If things went as planned. I hope you're not going to hate me for what I'm about to do, Ruby. I want you to be safe. You'd never survive the parties where some of the others' heirs prowl. I do apologize for calling out the blue. I've gained a few pets recently. A gift from Heir Saffron, a woman who literally came to me by chance. His friend smiled as he inclined his head slightly. Earlier, in the bath, he had embarrassed himself with Yang. He had spoken entirely too freely with her. Decorum had gone entirely off the bathtub. But she had been nice. She had been understanding fairness, and... If only you had been a human, it wouldn't be seen as odd for me to uplift a commoner to our level, not with... But the horns that marked her as an animal were just too noticeable. She was, and forever would be, a faunus. Never a wife, always a faunus. She would be
Also-
dazzling in a white dress, her eyes aglow in the light that shows her beauty. Go ahead.
Also, Law, whenever you do the ellipsis, you have to do the finger guns.
No, that's fucking annoying. Don't do it.
That's
Kitty,
Kitty's
it
thing, and it
fucking
breaks
makes
the
it-
flow.
It fucking makes it sound so much better, though, because it's just funny.
No,
imagining
that's just
every
you.
time he does the ellipsis,
that's just
he
you.
just goes,
Yes, that breaks the flow of the conversation, makes it even more painful to read.
I find it
Anyway,
amusing as fuck.
yes, because you enjoy pain, because you're a masochist. Anyway, he had masturbated to her in the morning.
Don't you kink shame me, you fucker.
Listen here, Captain, we're reading some very important shit, okay? So shut the fuck up. Anyway, he had masturbated to her in the morning. It had been more than just a little care of self-love. It had been... It had been so wonderful. The feeling of her lips, her touch, her little jokes, her boldness. It was such a shame that she was not human. No use crying about spilt dust, John. That would explode in your face, by the way.
Uh-huh.
They look ravishing in here, dog. Perhaps a closer look. I decided to get some entertainment. I thought to ensure that there would be some animal put right to proper use. A polite
Thanks,
smile
Cal.
was on
Really
his lips
appreciate
as he nodded. He did not wish to show his distaste publicly. After the entertainment, Carden? Hang on. After the entertainment, hi, Carden. The use of formal and informal dress was intentional. His eyes looking at the maid, the glass halfway emptied as was polite. You're being polite for me to show your true beauty. Aside from my lovely sister. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Fuck, fuck.
Hey, Kitty, can you scroll
Can you
down?
guys hear me just fine, or
Yeah, I can hear you feel fine.
We can
Yeah.
hear you.
am I dying?
Nope.
Mm-mm.
No.
No, it's
Or you
just the
guys
fucking
dying.
author who doesn't say
guys
who the
are-
fuck is
we're-
talking.
I was gonna say we're the ones dying because you're fucking...
Oh, the ping is 5,000. Jesus Christ.
Again, I can hear you fine. Well, that may just be me.
Well, I'm gonna read if you don't mind, because I just want to get through this shit. With your fucking ping thing going on.
Alright. Less skate this time. Thank fuck. Anyway. What was the last thing you guys heard from me?
We heard everything. From
Aside from my lovely sister.
Oh.
I was gonna say
Oh.
you weren't the one dying, Lau. Your fucking like Discord was the one dying, and so like we sounded weird to you, but you sounded fine to us.
Alright, because it says that my ping gets into 5,000, but apparently that's just my Discord fucking up, which annoys me, but I guess I'll get an attachment later. Anyway, Archie did not speak, so it was not her role to do so. She was here to chaperone and escort, the apathetic look enough, as her fingers fiddled a little with the dress that she opted to wear for this visit. With her job as a chemist and experimental scientist, she was still busy with perfecting the formula. Hurting Blake cost energy, and it hurt him. She had been a good pet before she had gone bad.
No,
He
he was
knew.
never good. She was never good.
She had been a good pet before she went bad. She was not good ever.
Yeah,
That implies that there was a high point to her career.
which there wasn't. Also, I just want to know. Remember how the story started off and it was supposed to be like a fucking Nightshade fanfic? Yeah, well, you could throw that out the window.
Hey, money talks louder than plans, you know?
Yeah, well, guess what? The person who paid for this obviously wanted Nightshang, and then motherfucker just switched it over to Dragon Slayer
Because somebody else paid higher.
somebody else paid higher, probably.
Goes to
That
the
is
highest
very
bidder.
possible. Yeah.
This is literally a case of capitalism.
Also,
I just have to wonder how pathetic these people are that they're fucking paying this dude to write this shit. Like, they must have some really fucked up, like, thoughts in their heads, and I hopefully that they're not around small children or animals.
Also,
Captain, you have no room to talk, okay?
Yeah.
I just want to note that I'm not even sure this was like the person paid the highest bidder or whatever, because all this other motherfucker's works are like all just Dragon Slayer 2. So either he only takes commissions from Dragon Slayer, or this fucker has a fetish. Probably has a fetish.
He probably was like, alright, I'll take this one Nightshade, and then the rest is just Dragon Slayer.
Exactly. That is almost certainly what happened.
But yeah, Cap has made some questionable choices economically in regards to questionable things. I would not have him be the voice of reason in regards to this stuff.
I know he.
Hey, the only time that I've ever had art commissioned or anything like that from somebody else is because of characters that I have in my story. Fuck, I paid for
Yes,
fucking
like-
Kitty's character to have an illustration of what he looks like.
Yes, and you commissioned your D&D character to execute surrendered villains.
Yes, because you don't leave a job half finished. Do you spare
Captain,
enemies' lives in Dungeons and Dragons? I don't think
Yes.
so.
Yes.
I do.
Oh, you
It's
fucking
literally
guy.
just you that's a fucking psychopath.
Would you spare Hitler?
Yes.
No.
I mean, I probably would
Yeah.
spare Hitler if you hadn't done anything yet.
I would do it regardless.
I'd shoot him just to see what kind of like beautiful explosions his head makes when you shoot it. It's like a melon. Or like that one
a
scene.
highlight of Captain's psychotic tendencies. Let's continue.
I was gonna say, you do know Courier 6 behaves exactly the same, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Or that
Yeah.
one scene in Sniper Elite V2 when you could shoot him in the other testicle. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yes. Two psychopaths at the same table. What wonderful combination. Anyway, they lost the war. He didn't want to see his sisters being treated as slaves by some cruel, thornless overlord if the good guys had lost. Exclamation point. That's not the mood, this setting. Like, that's just... Where's that exclamation point coming from? That'd be servitude. No, I've imagined a better line in my head. That'd be horrible. Servitude was much better than death. Blake would see that as much as she wanted freedom. Your lovely sister makes the room brighter with her presence wherever she roams. Licka. John did point out that he had multiple sisters, but Arjun gave a soft smirk. The flattery completely wasted on her. Arjun liked her work and her family. That was it. Thank you, Hail Winchester. You're a bright bastion in humanity's defense. There to guard those who require aid. Also, you're a massive masochist. Hello, Captain. The words were poetic.
Shut the fuck
An
up,
olden
Law.
days poem, but the praise made the redhead puff up a little. Flowery words, but they had originally been used as a sarcastic quip for one of the ancient tomes' protagonists to an ally who only came after the battle had been finished. Your words are too kind. John and Arjun cracked a grin, a sign of favor to those who held little faculty to appreciate them. I have instrumented to get you to prepare a light meal for us, since I assumed that you were visiting merely for the afternoon? John nodded. It was Arjun who spoke, as was proper as the eldest. He may be the inheritor, but his sister had still been born early and was more influential in that sense. Indeed, my brother, Inheritor Ike, decided to grace your home with his presence today after receiving two beautiful fawners from Eris Saffron. It is unfortunate that my dear sister could not be here with us. She suffers from a hoarseness of the throat, undoubtedly due to her tender health and the horse cow she spoiled yesterday. It was a lie, easily
God damn it,
believed
Lyle, that's
because
what I was
Saffron had always been the sick child of the family. He
Also,
smiled
I
eternally
just,
at that.
I just gotta say
Saffron was
too, the whole
wonderful.
thing of
A
calling
rare
him
Freud big
Inheritor
sister.
Arc.
She even liked
just-
Yang. That was rare enough for his older sister. Of course, Lady Ark. I hope they will be well pleased with the horsecock. The teenager's voice was a touch impressed, and John probably wondered whether it was because the young man had been home on his own to meet. Lady Winchester was currently away on business at a place where Auburn went to as well. Lord Winchester was visiting. as far as the communication went. It had been a swift call, at least. As soon as you provide a favorable seat. Anyway, I'm gonna go check. Oh, can you guys hear? Can I hear you guys now?
Yeah, I can hear
Yes, I
you.
can hear you.
Can you hear us?
We can hear
Yes, I can hear you now. Finally, it's been like a minute.
So the one thing that I have to say as well is the whole thing of calling him Inheritor Arc. That sounds about as fucking gay as when we were watching SAO and they kept calling them Integrity Knights.
Integrity Knight.
It just sounds so fucking stupid. Like
It's-
Lord Arc, at least sounds respectable.
Well,
Like,
no, because
but
he is
Inheritor
okay.
Arc, it just sounds so fucking awkward to say.
No, whatever this person is, fuck off. How you say inheritance titles.
Yeah,
Well,
but like it sounds
Everyone
so
else
fucking
you
awkward.
should be called Lord or Maiden by the name.
Yeah,
Only
yeah,
the
it's-
heir to the fucking thing is the
Again,
actual heir.
so, now the thing is, when you're addressing a person of royalty like a prince, you don't call them like courier or heir courier. You don't say that. That's why
No.
Inheritor Arc. It sounds even worse than heir because at least you know what heir means. Inheritor
but-
implies that he's basically only relevant based on the fact that he's gonna inherit all this shit.
Reddit.
Yeah,
Plus, heir
it's
implies some actual responsibility.
yeah, like when you're referring to a royal and stuff, you have to refer to them as your grace or something like that, or my lord. You don't fucking refer to them as the inheritor because it just sounds so fucking awkward. It's really annoying to say,
their
and it just doesn't have the
inheritor-
impact.
Their inheritor is at least a title. It's an actual title instead of just putting it in front of the name, which that doesn't work. That just makes it sound pathetic.
Yeah, and that's the reason why I would, if I was writing the story, I would say is refer to him as Lord Arc because at least sounds respectful, or or
No,
respectable.
I will change him to heir and the sisters
Yes.
of science.
Yes, because fucking John calls Winchester Heir Winchester. So why the
No,
fuck?
look, everyone else but the guy who's actually the heir get name heir.
Okay.
Just an
And
awkward
he
title.
who is the heir of the fucking title is called the inheritor.
I just gotta say, it's fucking stupid.
Yep.
Just refer to him with a normal title like a normal fucking person.
Or just call him by name if you're so lazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's real cool.
The amusement in her voice was light poke at the status of the Winchester family, whose seat at the lower rungs of the feeder had been commented about by Carden, overheard by most of the Ark family. It had drawn a grin from most of his sisters, to the horror of the lady and the Lord Winchester. Father had commented about the unfavorable setting to the man during a gathering, after which it had become public knowledge. So his family was just publicly humiliated at a gathering. That, that the writer probably thought that was some grade A level writing. Meanwhile, I was just sitting here thinking, holy shit, how has this family not been toppled by now? With their
Yeah.
political just stupidity.
No
The
fucking
fact that basically everybody secretly hates them, the fact they only have one male heir, so assassination is totally a thing that they could pull away to just, like, get rid of them so that somebody else can fill the vacuum. And the fact that, despite all of their fucking, friends in high places kind of things, everybody fucking hates them because they
Yes.
act like complete dickholes to everybody else.
Don't worry, Captain. We will get to that. We will get to that.
And then we'll forget that plot point.
Exactly. Lal, you're getting to understand it, man. I'm so proud of you.
Hey, it's like,
He's proud of you, Sonny Jim.
So proud of you, son of Jim.
is it like 52 where Blake finally says that she's John's property after being gone for like 20 pages or 20 chapters?
Yes.
That's
Actually,
so
no.
cool.
We heard her use the term property as in I'm property of whatever for the first time in chapter 57, which is the one that came out today.
I was 5 chapters off, almost.
5 chapters off. You're almost there. She begins to accept that thought around 52 or 54, 50. Oh, fuck it, whatever. Who fucking cares?
Anyway,
Kill me.
so a sofa had been prepared for them. As he noticed the tools already standing there, prepared and ready,
Ahsoka
Arkin
has
took
been
a seat
prepared for
next to him,
Awesome.
as Carden took to his seat. Seat twice? A few claps as one of the fathers stepped forward. John didn't really think much of the man, save for the fact that he was a little older than most. Not as spry as some of the people he knew. One shouldn't judge about the fawns of others, though. They were their owner's property. Fawners who had been arranged to serve as attendants or well practiced in their use. In the use. Their dull eyes looking attentive to their master's needs. If their eyes are looking dull, they're probably not very attentive, just saying.
No.
Now we can arrange for my father to receive a meal? My major domo, Yang, the one with the golden hair, will need to be fed. It's sure to cheat. You know how the animals get when they aren't properly fed. There was no need to feed Blake. She would have to eat with the other animals after all. She hadn't been worth the effort yet. Larry eating alongside the dogs. Great. Oh, I can hear you guys again. Fantastic. She'd said horrible things to him and didn't like to learn. She was a dumb animal, but... No buts. Just stop right there. Just stop right after animal.
Butts are for sitting.
Yeah.
Yes, she is pretty, and that is her only, literally her only saving grace. Thank you.
You can let her just bolt her to a wall with a gag in her mouth, and she'd be more productive. But she said that she didn't hate him. Oh, go ahead, Cobra.
Okay, this narration style, suspended punctuation marks are driving me crazy.
No shit, join the club.
Oh no,
No.
she's written like this is fucking Instagram or Twitter.
Oh, that's the best insult you made tonight. You're writing it as if it's Instagram or Twitter. But yeah, for reference, I'm writing something currently, and the only time where a character is doing ... is when they see essentially a corpse for the first time of a monster getting violated, or having their guts split, like just spilling out. That's the only time where they have like a ... moment.
I was gonna say you use that for, like you said, like dramatic pause or whatever, and also when like a character's like a dramatic thought like trails off or whatever, like if a character's speaking and their sentences like trails off or whatever from something like that. Yeah, people in their fucking minds don't think like that. Nobody fucking thinks with this many goddamn pauses in their fucking brain. Holy shit.
I mean, I get... Does being silent count as being paused? Like on pause?
Maybe.
When you hear somebody, do they just stop thinking?
Maybe, but there are other ways to indicate that other than fucking ellipses. Stop using ellipses. Holy ball sacks.
But she said... Also, here's another thing I hate. When you put ... that does not mean you don't capitalize. After every dot, there's a capitalization. But she
It's
said
also into the fact that this person just doesn't understand how ellipses are supposed to fucking work.
No.
This person just didn't pass first grade writing.
They're not
Yeah.
somebody who understands grammar.
Yeah.
This is this is not someone who got written. This is someone who has chatted with people.
Corporate, you
Because
came up...
this is narration. This is not how you say what you're gonna present on a fucking book.
This is a person that read creepypastas on not on fanfic. Those actually have some decent ones, but on like Twitter and Instagram, I thought, holy shit, this is amazing.
I was gonna say, Corporate, you hit the nail on the head when you said Twitter, because you're limited to 150 characters on Twitter, and that's what this person is writing. Like, they're limited to 150 characters in terms of like character thoughts and shit. It's fucking insane. Holy shit.
I used to think that Yuda needs about three lines in total and stop there. But once I realized, no, if somebody is thinking longer than that, and it's interesting, it can go on for longer, and that's so fucking liberating. I can't imagine writing this much and doing it in 3 lines each. Like, notice how all of these are fucking 3 lines or less. That's fucking infuriating to work with.
Yes, nobody thinks about anything complex. Nobody thinks about anything like... There's no fucking political... I mean, the fucking writer later on attempts to have political intrigue, but it's so fucking poorly done, it makes me want to gouge my eyes out with a fucking rusty spoon.
I just love, like, Mad Courier's just, like, very colorful descriptions of how much he wants to just destroy himself because of this. It's like, god damn, man. Like, shit, take it easy, dude. Calm down a
Take
little
it
bit.
seriously.
To be fair, I took that insult from Handsome Jack from Borderlands 2, where he talks about gouging a man's eyes out with spoons, and he's laughing while doing it, and I'm just that right now.
Meanwhile, I'm just listening to ISIS music.
No, I'm actually listening to good music. To
Hey,
balance
this
the
is
taste.
good. It's from the GLA.
I'm not even allowed to listen to music because this is streamed.
It's ISIS music. It's got the added sound effects of sawing through somebody's head.
But she said that she didn't hate him. She was better than Anna had been. She just needs to see the truth. Oh, voila! She was such a cute girl, but she paled next to Yang. See to it, animal! The dismissal. The man hurrying away immediately to make sure that it was done. Carden looking at him with a question in his eyes. One that he was trained too well not to ask. I know that he's wondering whether I have opted to make her my major domo out of a whim or... Major domo? My sister Camellia has personally vouched for the girl. It is a training service, some such. You could call it a concentration camp, if you will. Clarity in the other teenager's
I'm
eyes
surprised
warmed.
Lol's parents don't come in there and they're like, "Shut the fuck up already."
Nah, it's Saturday. I get a freebie on that one. Camelia's words was golden as far as most people went. One did not head the committee but being a weak woman despite, well, he enjoyed teasing her about her height. Cammy could get really mad, but she never meant it. The lady art never astounds me. We get most of our slaves from the official market too, and occasionally from China. Have you attended recently? Yet, he hadn't really had much contact with non-house slaves, though he had seen most of them from time to time as they were picking cotton as he walked through the garden. He hoped that they enjoyed the extra rations they granted them, those damn house niggers. Good food was good food for the animals.
Jesus.
You had to make sure that they were strong enough to work those fields. I am not! Come on, also! The smile on his older sister's face was warm, as she seemed to contemplate her sister, a softness to her lips, the briefest tuck of the corner that showed that it was a real one. I should attend! Probably once my pets are settling a little. The other teenager motioned with a hand for refreshment to be bought. A maid moved the tray over, the mark on her hip showing clearly whose family she was owned by. Damn, they fucking branded this nigga! He wondered briefly whether he could get Yang a mark. It wasn't like he was going to discard her so easily. She was special. Oh, she's special, alright. Especially kind of autistic. I will see it there. It is nearly a month before I attend Beacon after all.
Well, John's autistic.
John's
autistic too, so they're perfect for each other.
Yep, and they're both blondies, so they're both regressive traits, you know?
Maybe
Also,
they'll regress each other from the fucking gene pool.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's just a self-fulfilling prophecy. They have a kid, the kid murders both parents, and then flings itself off a cliff. There you go. Gene pool eliminated.
You get what I'm going for there, Cap.
there we go. That's a fucking quote. Alright.
I'm pretty sure that means that we're both psychopaths, Karen McCurry.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm okay with that.
He turned his gaze away. Oh, good.
I was gonna say, as long as you direct your psychopathy at the right people, you're fine.
That's his usual motto. As long as it's at the right people.
That's the funniest thing too. Is it's not psychopathy when you're directing; it's psychopathy. You're supposed to pronounce it like that. It doesn't make sense. Why does it change because you're using it a different way in a sentence? It's the same word.
Remember, it's alright as long as you're doing it to the right people, including kids just stacked inside of a room. Anyway, knowing that a letter of rejection had been formally phrased, but it's still been a letter of rejection. Failure, even though you wanted to be a hero. I hope that you will be guardian of humanity, Heir Winchester. Stop with the fucking heir. It is a worthless title when put in front of the name. The formal wishes were easy to say, as they were pleasant to the ear. Not many people paid much attention to the words anymore, but they often were said in intimate situations such as this. Well, intimate in a way that people would actually comment on it. After drinks had been handed, he cut aside the very same faunus had been sent away, peering with another faunus, her naked body looking decidedly uncomfortable. Modest press, a set of rapidity. Even as the girl was guided to the front of the seat that Cardin had occupied, the girl looking a little nervous. Alright, so, you guys ready?
No, but let's
Nope,
do it
but
anyways.
let's go with it.
Let's get started, baby.
Hello, Master Winchester. You called for the slave?
Is that
Girl
the voice
knew
you're
how-
using for Velvet? Fuck off.
Yes. The girl knew how to speak to her better. Cardin's face looking at her with a simple look of disdain. Would you prefer that I do my gamer voice?
Yes.
Hello, Master Winchester. Hello, Master Winchester. You call for this slave? Lay on the bench on your front. Spread your legs like China. Arjun looked a little bored. John felt somewhat distant as he watched the girl get ready. The claps were pressed there, as her slit sat there between her legs, some pubic hair, but not too much to be distasteful, of course. A little bit of pubic hair has never ruined a meal, after all. The girl's head was put into the band to straighten it, revealing the girl's back to them. The entertainment has arrived! John rolled his eyes whilst he closed them, opening his eyes and watching the young heir to Winchester, named Smack, that firm fawn's bottom. Archer's little half-grin was a sign that she was paying attention as the man held out a hand. Please, do the honors! John sighed. The girl looked like she would scream. Scream out in pain. Scream for somebody to save her. Alas, sometimes even the best people would need to do things that were distasteful. Like selling out to China. She wasn't his animal, at least.
Well, shut the fuck up. it's,
What?
it's not funny.
Like after
Hey,
the
it's
third
funny to
usage
me.
of it, just gets dull. Like
Yeah,
the
it's
third
dull.
usage of every single word that this person uses in their damn fucking story.
Hey, to me, it makes it funny, because I imagine that this fucker is just constantly hitting his head against the wall. Anyway, I'll stop. Sorry.
I was gonna say, you know what? Actually, I changed my mind, Lyle. If it makes you happy, go for it, man. You put up with my shit, I might as well put up with yours. So.
Anyway, I was just trying to spice. I was just
Just
attempting to
blatantly,
spice stuff up, but yeah.
says, "Yeah, you put up with my bullshit, so I'm gonna put up with your unsufferable bullshit."
Exactly, man. That's how friendship works, man. That's how fucking.
I'm just trying desperately to make this
more
slightly more interesting or entertaining, but clearly I'm failing.
No,
My
man,
apologies.
That's fine. It's fine.
You're my guest after all in here, Dark. Unless Lady Arg wishes to. Not interested. Do give me some earplugs, though. I really would like to close my eyes for a moment. What? This is supposed to be a royal gathering. You can't just put fucking earplugs in.
Well, they're branding a fucking woman in the middle of the fucking thing, so he probably doesn't want to just hear her screaming in agony.
But it's an actual, proper meeting. Even if they're doing something distasteful, they're supposed to at least keep up presentation. Oh, who am I kidding? The story doesn't care about any setting of mood.
No, it doesn't.
The small clapping of cheeks, and of the man, and one of the maids, a petite girl whose short blue hair had been shorn at the side into the crest of Winchester, stepped forward to offer her the earplugs. Hello, Master Winchester. My name is Velvet, and I'm a gamer. The girl must have been somewhat teddy with her education. It really wasn't into animal cruelty, but whatever counted as entertainment. The flame dust ignited, and he watched for a moment before pressing the brand against its hip. Its hip. Finally, a good use of it. The female fauna screamed loudly. Oh, are you serious? She screamed loudly at being branded.
Wow.
My God! Pressed it tighter, smell of burning flesh in his nostril. The girl hadn't known. Father did not like these methods, or so he'd claimed. Or so he'd claimed? He pulled the brand away to inspect the mark, to see that black flesh looking still raw. Looking still raw.
If
Before
fucking
he-
black, you mate! It look like carbon!
It's
Before
fucking
he
raw.
Before he ignited the brand again, and the scream came again. The animal scream. Hey, Courier, you done with your drink yet?
What?
You said you're gonna take a sip every time to repeat a line.
I finished with that beer several fucking minutes ago. There, so
Then get a new one. You're gonna need it.
no,
The
I'm
animal screaming
currently
loudly.
lying on my bed. I don't want to.
Also, I'm just gonna stop doing the Mickey Mouse voice because Jesus Christ, they don't deserve that much personality.
No, please, yeah.
They all talk the same anyway.
Mm,
You always recognize the owner by the branding on the animal. That was the rule. It wasn't enforced within the Ark family much, but several of the older slaves bore the crest. They had been trusted. The whimpers and sobs came, the girl having wet herself, Carden's eyes looking displeased. She looks a touch wan, Carden. When? Is that word? When?
Is one a word?
I don't know.
Is what? Let me find it.
One.
She looks a touch when.
How do you
Yes,
spell
an adjective. It's pale, strained, weak,
it? It's probably misspelled anyhow.
looking like sick or exhausted.
A touch when. I have never heard that word. When.
Wan, of a person's complexion or appearance, pale and giving the impression of illness or exhaustion. It's over complex language.
After getting branded, wow. Fucking shock.
Yeah, she looks exhausted.
The worst part is this isn't dialogue. There's no supporting line to this, like a when figures, like
She looks
exhausted.
a touch wan, Carden.
Exhausted, something like that. But no, just she looks a touch wan. It was a bad showing. The girl must have been inexperienced, unprepared. A shabby job. She's getting branded.
Branded? Do you fucking... God.
Anyway.
Yeah, the sheer psychopathy of a lot of these characters and stuff just makes Predator like he would just show in and start ripping out people's fucking
Spines.
spinal cords and stuff.
And heads. Don't forget the heads, too.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just Kane at his fucking worst. I can imagine doing this, but even then, that's a really big if.
Nah, Kane wouldn't bother with branding people. He'd probably just murder them.
No. That's the thing, too. I don't generally, when I'm playing my character, I don't generally prolong suffering and torture unless the person... unless shut the fuck up.
That's a fucking lie. And you know that.
Anyway, I don't tend to prolong torture or unnecessary suffering unless the person's a real shitbag who deserves it. Like Spawn usually does.
I'm not gonna extend the suffering unless they deserve it.
Yeah, like if they're a real shitbag character, like the people in this fucking fanfiction. All of them deserve to die in extremely horrible ways.
And why do you think you have the right to choose who deserves a painful end and who doesn't?
Based on their actions.
Yeah, it's generally seen as killing somebody who's a psychopath is actually seen as a universal good.
Actually, Captain, you probably shouldn't say that, because...
Haven't you killed several people, Captain?
Yes, but that was during wartime and they were trying to kill me.
Well, you lost the opportunity to capitalize on a joke there. I'm very sad.
I
You don't wanted to make the job, so...
I didn't
continue.
feel like making the joke. Anyway. Inherit us. Yeah, I recognized the joke and I just didn't want to take it.
You can do it. You can do it, Lol. I won't hold it against you. Do it for the joke.
No, because now the punchline has been lost. Much like all those lives you took. Anyway, there's it was a simple miss of
Hey,
quote.
their lives weren't worth shit anyway.
Neither is
Yeah,
yours.
but neither
If
was
I had
mine.
more time to repair, perhaps. The words were melody and delayed to soothe the spirits, as he looked at the other teenager, whose smile curled along his lips. Well, I would be able to treat you something a touch more refined. Not like this. Looks at branded chick screaming and sobbing her eyes out. That's pretty trash. The hand brushed over the ears, floppy and suddenly going rigid. Like a dirty beast. As was polite, his hand brushed over the girl's cheek. Scared eyes looking at him. It wasn't his animal. If Yang or Blake was ever to be branded, he would make sure it was painless. How do you make a branding painless? Pumping it full of drugs?
Anesthesia.
Knock him unconscious, yeah.
Unconscious, anesthetic.
Do I need to explain why it does become painless by just knocking them unconscious?
Well, I mean,
Oh,
they're gonna
absolutely.
I was gonna
It
say
doesn't.
they're gonna wake up in pain, but it's gonna be a lot less than if they fucking...
Anyway, that's besides the point.
So
Blake
general
might need some
anesthetic-
pain to straighten her out, but
I was
it was
gonna
too
say-
wrecked by her.
I was gonna say, if you wake up after a surgery, there's gonna be pain, or would you rather be awake during the surgery? Well,
I'd rather just be knocked out by anesthesia. I wouldn't just be, knocked out by a club and then wake up to them operating on me.
That's not what I'm fucking talking about, genius.
No, but that's what you say, by unconscious. There's no drugs applied.
Oh my god, Lal, you're...
I'm pulling your leg.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, where is it? Where was I? Yeah, there it is. They were his. Yeah, they were his faunus. Blake might need some paint to straighten out, but he would do right by her. But he would do right. I was about to say, but it would do right by her. Holy shit, the correct sentence, but no.
He would do her right. Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh, Siggy Higgy, my niggy. Responsible owner always took care of their pets with the rights that they were afforded. Does that include, do you rape your pets?
No.
No.
Unless you're a furry.
The only people who do that are furries.
Yeah.
Or
And people who
scalies?
are into bestiality.
Those are
Which generally those are
the same
furries.
things.
Yeah.
And white women.
Do you know
White women.
do you know a guy died fucking a horse once? True story.
Yes.
Yep.
He sat down, watching his carton complete the branding by pouring some alcohol over the burn, sterilize it. Or at least that was he'd been playing. It hadn't been often that he'd seen a branding, as most of his sisters were usually in attendance. It would be rude to have merely a single branding as entertainment for a group of such high-born women. A single branding isn't entertaining enough. What the fuck is this universe? The animal screamed
Look,
and
yeah,
is in
these-
pain.
This
Like I
universe is
said-
actually is part of a world, a demon
No.
world on
No.
this
Yeah,
Tanashi domain.
you can understand how I say these people are fucking sociopaths and psychopaths because as much of a bad person I recognize that I am not this fucking monstrous. These people are fucking not people. They're monsters.
No shit.
Like, you know the fucking saying, some people are so evil you couldn't consider them humans. They're literally demons. That's these
No,
fucking things. They're not
no,
people.
that-
They're demons.
That's where you fail to understand, Captain. The real horror isn't that they are beyond humans. It's that they are humans that are capable of such cruelty. And that's why I find them so disgusting is the thing that they offer. Things that we are in any way supposed to sympathize with these motherfuckers. As
Which we
Blake is constantly antagonized for being a bitch. Understandable so. But they, on the contrary, make everyone else such a horrible, horrible person. And the only one we're actually supposed to, I think, sympathize with to an extent is John. And he's looking at that thinking, oh, that ain't bad enough that ain't enough to entertain a high-born court. Come on. Holy shit, mate. Is that what you think a sympathetic person thinks? What the
Yeah,
fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, I can make a character who's pretty fucking bad. You know, that's usually my main character. He's not a good person. He's basically like as redeemable as Spawn is. And even then, he comes off as way more sympathetic because he's not just this fucking monstrous for no fucking reason. Like, all these characters are legit fucking evil.
I'm not
Like,
even
I
focusing
can't
on
even
the-
see any fucking... I legit... Kitty, Corper, Lol, Courier. Have you fucking seen any redeeming qualities from any of these fucking characters this entire time?
I've seen negative redeeming qualities. They all deserve to be burned alive.
Exactly. They are pure fucking evil. There's no way to like them.
I mean,
Look, you can look. Rance is a more sympathetic character than these motherfuckers.
Actually,
Actually, more capable of goodness.
And he's a serial rapist.
Yes.
yes, but he doesn't rape children and actively beats people and kill people that rape children.
Because Rance is
Oh,
a
yeah.
good person, a very moral rapist.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I'd approve of the killing child rapist. I don't really approve of the actual child rape, though.
You know, he doesn't rape
He doesn't
children.
rape
he doesn't
children.
He kills the people who do it.
Yep.
Oh.
That's the one
I mean,
thing
that's
he will.
that's a justifiable thing.
He'll rape women after he's beaten them because spoils of war, but he refuses to touch children.
I mean, everybody has their lines, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, what I was gonna say is Kitty. Now we don't have to pay for digital copies of those Game of Thrones books. We're already reading it. Nobody's redeemable here.
Oh, yeah.
And it's about as well written.
I mean,
Just say Velvet.
potentially Callie may be redeemable later on, but even the author tried his hardest to ruin her. So.
And it's also the funniest thing too is the person who wrote this is actually finishing it or actually writing it instead of J.R.R. Martin, who's just literally beaten off against the fucking wall for 10 years.
J.R.R. Martin? Who the fuck?
Look,
I don't know.
Look,
I don't give a shit about him enough as a person to remember his name.
Look, the
Just
only person I
remember
care
what-
about is Velvet.
I just know that he's a fat sack of shit with a big ass beard, and his writing is on par with the level of this diarrhea.
Look, the only
Listen,
person I care about is Velvet because she looked like just a goofball who did some wrong.
Little bunny.
Yeah. Velvet is the only redeemable character because she's shown to be completely innocent in all of this, and she still gets
Listen.
fucking killed.
I mean,
Listen, J.R. Martin is John Rance Romulus Martin.
No, don't you include my character in there.
I am absolutely going to drag him in there because it was going to get a reaction successfully.
I mean,
Monster.
I was gonna say, in terms of Velvet being innocent, she did just gleefully sing a song about like murdering all the humans.
Yeah, she was indoctrinated into it. She had something like 40. She's like
Well,
14,
also-
15.
I was gonna say Blake was indoctrinated into it too. Does that make her any more of a likable character? No.
No, she defended them.
Also,
After being
Hey.
indoctrinated into them for all her life, so.
Yeah,
you're
but
not
remember,
to-
Blake left the thing, and then came back.
No, not in this universe. In this universe,
Okay.
she never left the White Fang. She was just captured out on a raid. So.
Yeah, you get to call me a monster when you skin it to get
Wow,
taken
your
away
mic's
from
fucking
you.
up again.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
You sound like RoboCop had a stroke.
The face when you're writing is so bad it causes a cyborg to malfunction.
RoboCop
look.
this shit just like loses mind.
Would you rescue a QTF who memorized the North Korean idioms and pledges?
No.
I mean,
She is an adorable little bunny girl. I would fucking gladly kill everybody in that room and save her.
well, that's just because you want to fuck the ever living shit out of her, Cap.
Just
and to be
because
fair,
you're a
I
That
do.
too. Hey, it's like what they all said, man. Pussy's a hell of a motivator.
Look,
Sim.
as far as I know, she can be deprogrammed. Okay.
Yeah, redeemed, deprogrammed, whatever. It's fine.
Okay.
You think you could do
Yeah,
the thing with Blake?
see-
I guess that it's not gonna fucking work out real well.
You
Yeah,
just gotta
uh,
understand, man. The cock is basically like a hard reset button for some women. It just is able to like rewrite them entirely.
Clearly not Blake.
Yeah, that's because he's got a Tootsie Roll, man. You gotta work with a little bit more than that.
Well, actually, it did deprogram her because even though she keeps calling him a rapist and all this terrible stuff or whatever, all she keeps doing is getting fucking aroused every time he's around. So maybe it's a
So-
subconscious hard reset button.
Anyways.
Oh,
Oh, fuck me in the ass. I really.
yeah. It's the
Discord is just fucking dying. Oh boy. Well. Do I keep reading on my own, or do I wait for it to function? And then is the question. Where was it that they finished? To sterilize it, blah blah blah, to stay still. You're going to enjoy my pets. Ignore the nagging guilt inside and the feeling that this might be wrong. It was accepted. You could always get new animals if the old ones were used up. Moderate, though I could hear the screams through the earplugs. You may need some work, but the brand looks decent on the girl. Good job, little brother. What? Oh, okay. The comment from his sister was warm as he smiled. It wasn't as good as the job that he'd seen before, but that had been a professional. The rules and regulations of their social circle did not often allow for a mere branding. There was sobbing in the background, though he ignored it. It wasn't his animal, so he should not care. That was the rule. Another wet splat, a hiss, and the rest of the entertainment was being completed. The offered dish politely declined. He didn't really enjoy meat after a branding. It was customary to reject the offering of meat during a branding, as the meal would be served soon once it had been fully prepared. Carden sat down as the servants gathered up tools and started to mop the floor, clearing away the stains of fluids that had dripped during the branding. It had been all right, he supposed. The girl had looked decently for an animal. That's not how you conjugate that. But nothing really spectacular. He'd seen some gladiators who could put the girl to shame with their appearance. Jesus. The funness are waiting in the waiting room. No, they'd be waiting in the bedrooms, obviously. Master Winchester. Actually, that's the wrong thing to say. Still, what else are they going to do in the waiting rooms? The faunus said, Carden looking at him for permission, as they were his property. He would have the power over them. Property laws were strict enough that a family could get eradicated for laying a hand on the property of another. Jesus, that's stupid. I wish to show you them. The signal was thus, and he knew that Carden would not mind the brief impropriety of using no name to indicate who he meant. It wasn't a big social faux pas, after all. It was an informal setting. As they departed to the second seating room, Argent squeezed his hand tightly. 3 light squeezes. A little twinge of amusement came as the coded language for lame came through. Argent preferred more excitement. She's a psychopath. By the way, can you guys hear me now? I'm gonna take that as a no still. What the fuck is going on with this?
Hang on, I got an idea.
He's probably gonna keep reading because he thinks he has his fucking stream.
I don't care. I'm gonna play this.
I'm going to.
Fuck.
Oh,
Who the fuck server muted me?
loud because you wouldn't
I
shut.
server muted you because you didn't want to shut the fuck up. We kept talking to you, but you kept ignoring us.
I couldn't hear you.
Yes,
Yeah,
and we
yeah,
tried
we
to
literally
tell you,
fucking
and you
typed.
ignored us.
We literally fucking typed
my
in the
God.
chat, leave and come back. You can't hear us, shithead.
Oh my god.
We've been shouting at you for the last 3 or 4 minutes.
And I didn't have my Discord window up.
Oh.
Yes, and that's why I server
okay.
muted you. That was the only thing I can think of that would actually get your attention.
And it didn't.
Yes, but eventually you figured it out. Congratulations. You
I
played
paused
yourself.
and said, okay, can you guys fucking function now? And looked back.
And
Absolutely
realized we
fucking
haven't
I
been able to
realized
hear
you've
you.
fucking been talking to yourself for several minutes.
No, I've been reading.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, talking to yourself.
Yeah, talking to yourself.
Because
And
no
nobody even
reasonable
knows where you
person
are.
would be watching this.
I mean, yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, Discord's killing itself, and we may or may not be talking into the void. What else is new?
Yeah.
Nothing.
What else is new?
Anyway, let's get back to the actual story. Now, where did you leave off?
Informal setting.
Okay.
As they departed to the second seating room, Argent squeezed his hand tightly. 3 light squeezes. A little twinge of amusement came as the coded language for lame it came through. Argent preferred more excitement, like the psychopath that she is. He sat down on the sofa, Argent picking a seat. Carden clapped his hands twice and a door opened, his 2 pets entering. Blake looked decidedly moody, which only brought out her golden eyes more than before, whilst Yang was the spirit of light itself, or herself, smiling at him. She took the lead as she stood before him, bowing formally, Master! The formal word was hard for her to pronounce as she turned her body, bowing before his sister. I don't like this already. Lady Ark. Turning to the host, she bowed deeply. Master Vin... no, wait. Meister Wiener Fester. The mispronouncing of the word drew a brief smile from his sister, but the other teenager merely made a face, dismissing the girl without a word. It was not an animal's fault they couldn't speak the civilized language. Be seated. He patted the spot next to him for Yang, as was proper, whilst he looked at Blake. She showed no respect, nor did she actually move, merely looking at him with moody, angry eyes. Assist her, Yang. Blake's feet
It's a shower.
You're not far off. Blake's feet were swept from under her, and she fell to the ground, Yang arresting her fall after a moment.
Arresting her fall.
You know, like how you have an arrestor hook thing on a fucking aircraft? Yeah.
That's just a very interesting combination of words.
Welcome to the thesis. Or not the thesis, the thesaurus.
Yeah.
They continue.
Well, let me see if
I
can find
understand what
out
they're
one
trying to
name.
do.
No,
They failed.
no. Dolphinus had good balance, or so he remembered faintly from his Origin of the Species lecture by Carlos Carmine. What?
Who?
Carlos
What?
Carmine.
Is that a political reference? He loves to put those fucking things in.
Origin of the Species lecture.
Is that the crazy doctor?
Oh, it's
Ruby?
Carmine Mirabelli, a Brazilian physical, medium, and spiritualist.
Also, I just kind of figured that this one person was literally going to go off on a fucking tangent about evolutionism or some shit, because I kind of figured that that was going to be in this at some point. They're going to start getting preachy about something.
Anyways, Blake was
Dude,
forced to
even-
kneel before him, his feet raised and placed on her back, while Yang sat herself down. The girl knew her place as a mere footstool, he supposed, and he knew that the resistance that she showed would be counted against her. The dark-haired one is still untamed. My apologies, Curtin. You know how animals are.
And that's when Kid
Oh,
died. Rest in
is
peace.
there just... It's a reference with a Brazilian spiritualist name slapped onto Charles Darwin's book.
Mhm.
Is this guy Brazilian?
Hey guys, remember Madoff Schmittler?
Anyways, now that I'm not choking on my own spit anymore.
Aw.
I thought the
Um,
fucking fanfic was killing you.
They may be seen, but they must not be heard. He could feel Yang hold him a little tighter, feel her breath tickle along his cheek. It was nice. Indeed, you cannot take the wild out of an animal, I suppose. He looked at Blake, whose head was turned to him. A baleful look was sent at him, but there was no doubt in those eyes. She would know her place soon enough. Indeed. A clapping of the hands, and he could see that a tray with drinks was being brought by one of the good faunus. He took a small glass of berry juice, knowing that the wine he had had at first approach had been an appetizer, though the food would probably be just as good. The food should be prepared, so let us eat. He watched the faunus servants move the food in, the small table that they had in front of them, laden with bounty of dishes that had been provided. He counted 8 numbered dishes, sporting a variety of foods. He looked at Argent, questioning for a moment as to who would do the honors, a small twitch of her lips telling him to do so. He shrugged his shoulders lightly, indirectly telling Yang to let go. Like the good girl that she was, she obeyed immediately. It was really nice to see that such a well-behaved pet, and it would have been wonderful if he could have sat with her at the courting, but her trait. That won't matter once I meet with Mother and Lady Rose. Cinder was a bigger threat to his existence. Number 2, 3, 5, Yang. The order for the servants to ensure that the dishes were prepared for their owner was given, as Argent regarded the blonde. Number 3 and 5, with a small heaping of 7 on top. Yang rose gracefully like a woman of fine standing. He could already see her wear a dress bearing the crest of a family. Her manner was stately, as his mother would have wanted his wife to have. She bent low, taking the plate, and starting on his sister's order, whilst Carden tasked his attendant with the same order. It was no different when you were at home, but whilst away and escorted by your faunus pets, you would have them serve you. It was etiquette, as no human should work whilst the faunus were present. Why would you trust your slaves with your food?
So that's an interesting statement. So you want to say that no human should serve under any context if there is faunus in the room. But how would that work when they have faunus hunters? I assume they would treat those at least somewhat camaraderie-like, since they're expected to, have their masters back. But do they
No.
also serve as fucking glorified slaves on the battlefield? That sounds like
Yes.
a really
Yes,
terrible
they do.
idea.
They basically just say that like they indoctrinate them or break their minds so much they're basically just like mindless guard dogs or
They're
something.
animals, basically. Anyways.
Yeah, and the whole
Informally,
thing
any
of
edifice and
and
grudge
the
could be had with every member of the family in the home.
and the whole thing of they had that one discussion with the fucking callers and shit that if the master dies, they die too. When we thought that was
Yes.
like a massive fuck resources.
Also,
Anyway.
I just want to note that because in chapter 57 we do finally get to see those things explode, and contrary to your opinion, they don't explode immediately once somebody's in danger. They take like 5 minutes to fucking explode. I shit
So
you
you
not.
have 5 minutes to cut it off.
Basically, I was gonna say he's like, well, we're the fucking in 57. He's like, well, we're all gonna die, but at least we can fucking rape that one woman and kill all our like masters or whatever before we do. And sure enough, they almost do. So yeah.
There's no fucking point to having them anyways.
There is no point to having them because they could just rape everybody and murder all their owners or whatever before the collars explode. So they're fucking pointless. Yeah.
Anyways, we're almost done. I would like to get
You're
this
welcome.
done before 11 o'clock.
Yes.
Anyways,
It's
or when
almost
visiting a
dead.
relative, one would just get the food however one wished. They were there to be served after all. Yang offered a plate to his sister, making sure to look down like a good servant should. She was such a good girl, doing the perfect rendition of what she had been taught. She caught Argent giving a little double blink, which was Argent for, "That's actually good," though she and Camellia had been making the science of coded messages into an art form.
Bless you. Bless you.
Curse me in my soul, my family. Yang turned to the food once more, having just remembered his order of food. The smell was pleasant, even as Cardin's attendant easily ensured the meal was prepared for the master. Jean never really enjoyed meat after some of the casual and more lowbrow entertainment, but he had been instructed on how to be polite. Appearances mattered in this world, after all. Yang offered him the plate, her head bowed low and her breasts showing clearly from her cleavage. His hand taking the offered plate and the utensils. She sat herself down after bowing towards each member of the gathered nobility as far as that went. Titles mattered little, but the social bludgeons that they wielded did. "She is well trained. Your sister does great work for Vale, Inheritor Arc." Cardin's words were pleasant as Yang's hand brushed over his thigh, an intimate gesture that he allowed. She was acting the part perfectly, her eyes looking at him whilst his feet pressed Blake down a bit, the girl's face towards the ground. "She is. My sister has pride in her work." The meat was a touch chewy for Cardin's taste, but as he cut a single piece from the meat he'd gotten from the 8th dish, the one that he'd ignored. He never really cared much for meat after the entertainment that such setting could provide, though he knew that it might have been the screams after the first branding he'd witnessed that had put him off. Jean smiled.
Isn't it very the same sentence twice?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Jesus.
Jean smiled at
I
Yang,
thought I was going
smiled back, her
insane.
face turned away. It was nice of her to smile back. She was acting like a good faunus, giving him the attention he needed in the setting. Juniper had done well to teach her etiquette. "I might offer her a sum to train some of the less tolerable members of our stable." "That will be pricey. Cammy doesn't like to do personal consulting." As the food was done, he'd probably left a small amount on the plate. He allowed himself another sip of wine to wash it down before he got up. "I trust my pets have been to your approval, Vinchester." The redhead bowed slightly, as was expected. They look wonderful in Heritage Arc. Not to my taste, as they still have their traits, but I hope that they will serve you well." The answer was polite and formal, but not conclusive. Jean looked at Blake, who was giving him a look. No, she's giving him a fucking skunk tail. "Bring in the entertainment." The clapping of hands summoned the faunus who had served the younger heir to the Winchester family, who pushed along the entertainment, a simple gown being given to of course Ute. It wasn't much to speak about, but an inspection would need to be done. The protocol demanded it, at least a formal acceptance. "It has served to entertain." The formal words he spoke, as he was front and center now with the etiquette, his sister having kept to the background. He could see that Blake was horrified, and that Yang had a very firm grip on the girl's neck. "Dish number 8 wasn't to my taste." The girl was crying, tears dripping down her cheeks, her eyes looking like a regular animal's. The stumps on her head would undoubtedly be groomed by a professional faunus care specialist before they grew infected. He couldn't care about her. She was not his property, and she was not special enough to be something to catch his eye. Her mouth opened as if to say something, and he saw the gaping cavity. He felt a stab of pity, but squashed it. A soft whimper came from her mouth as she closed it. "She is not your property. You have Blake and Yang." Entertainment was provided, and it shall be provided once more upon our next meeting in private. Inheritor Arc. The words were calm, but the other teenager held little thought about it. Jean mentally calculated the time before he could speak up if Argent did not. Come on, sis. She didn't do it, so it came to his feet to say the ritual words. Entertainment will be provided if Winchester comes to our humble home. It was an ancient manner to invite a guest to one's home, but Cardin Winchester would be a fool if he followed the custom. The Ark and Winchester families had a gulf as broad as a shallow sea between them, and there was only need to cater to his whims. His mother had taught him about differences in power, and whilst the Winchester family did provide a useful service to the Kingdom of Vale, there were other families that could perform that function as well. When the time comes, this humble heir will visit. The words were rote and familiar, never to be acted upon. It was that divide, that broad divide between the families. Yang, slave, escort us back home. The words were there for the Faunus, telling them that it was time to go. It had been a brief visit of perhaps an hour and a half, but it was enough. He smiled at Cardin, as was proper. It was an honor to host you in Inheritor Arc. When my noble father and mother return, we would love to host you. Again? You're missing an again. He supposed that it might be worth a thought. It would probably feature something a touch more exciting than an animal being branded. Perhaps it would even involve a huntsman performance. Those are fun. As he tugged on Yang's leash, the girl pulled closer. It felt right to hold the leash. She was a good girl for him. The smile on her face was happy as they departed from the Winchester household. He could see that the smile broadened a little as Argent retreated into the world of whatever weird chemical formulas she envisioned. Blake's face was thunderous, but the girl did not speak up. It was better than he had hoped. She probably would have lost her life if she had shamed the family with her conduct. I guess it would be right for me to give her the benefit of another chance. She can learn. He'd simply have to show her that there was no alternative to servitude aside from death. That was simple. Animals need to be house-trained after all. That was just how the world worked. Author's note at the end. No, horrible animal cruelty. And yes, you may notice his lack of response to it. The bystander effect of it's not my business, so I shouldn't care. No. Yeah, this is a tough one to write. Disgusting, but it would be apt for the world to have some people who are very bad to the farm slaves. Okay.
No, you motherfucker. If you want to make Eric sympathetic, you have to at least get his fucking thoughts about it.
Yeah,
It's
at least have him speak out and say like, is this really
No,
necessary?
listen, not even that. You say in his reaction to that, just making clear that he's disgusted by it.
Disgusted
He
by
doesn't
it.
do it for fucking
doesn't
like
care.
50 paragraphs.
Yeah.
Look,
Again,
look.
all he needs. Good.
That's not how the bystander effect works. The bystander effect is when you're in a large group of people
Yes,
and you
there's
do nothing
two of you.
because
You're waiting for
are
someone else
looking
to
at-
do it.
You're waiting for
Yeah.
somebody else in the pack to do it. That's not the
The dude is-
bystander effect.
The dude
This
is
is-
literally a fucking sociopath or a psychopath, man. He has no fucking feeling.
This is a guy
to
pretending
that.
that he doesn't fucking care because it would be socially improper.
I mean,
Yeah,
he
why-
literally doesn't care. He gives
Can-
one comment like 50 minutes later about it.
Can you tell me also? Can you also tell me why he should be afraid if it's socially improper? Because he made it very clear that like the fucking Arcs or whatever are so much more high and mighty than the Winchesters that like one word from them and they could basically be just like erased or whatever. So why the fuck would he be afraid to speak up?
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
stopping
All
the
these
stream.
people.
Also,
all these
also
people-
Ark is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, if you didn't get the implication or whatever, not only did they brand Velvet or whatever, but afterwards because she screamed or whatever, afterwards then cut off her ears and cut out her tongue and served her ears and tongue as like meat to eat. If you-
Okay, I want you to. There is a comment I want you to read.
Oh,
See the fuck-
God.
It's the second comment from Dunkwarer.
From who?
If you want, I can just post it in voice chat. Kevin, in the chat.
Doom Cure. Oof, I'll be honest, this is by far one of the best stories I have seen using the slave mechanic, as the most of the others I read either are just edgy garbage or pure smut, but with this one you have made me feel for the characters and their situations like we've only just met Velvet, but I feel sorry for being under the house of Winchester without brutally he treats his slave so good.
He talks about how all the other fanfics are so fucking edgy garbage, and he doesn't think this is edgy garbage.
Man's delusional.
This is worse
retarded.
than anything else I've ever fucking read, claiming that it's not edgy garbage. And with that, I'm ending this fucking stream. Next week, same time.
Bye, everyone.
Hopefully it'll be short.